Okay, cool. So tonight we're playing some. I didn't get it after I did some not B, well BX, but B Dungeons and Dragons. But we're doing a bit of a playtest on a magic system that I'm kind of working on that allows the casters to more cast freely, kind of freeform spell casting. So we're going to try that. In addition, and this is the last several BX games we've run, I've used my new combat system that involves ascending armor class, and also your AC being affected by the weapons that you're using, um, and also your tempos. So yeah, we're gonna try to smoosh it all together in one playtest today. So we'll see how that goes. But as we start off the adventure, you all have been cursed. Um, being an adventurer is kind of a tough life, and you do a lot of dangerous stuff. But for the jewels and the great meals and the trinkets and whatever else you spend the gold that you accumulate on, I guess you figured it was worth it. But when that witch told you not to enter those caves, and you did, you came out feeling a lot worse for wear. Even the elves among you could notice a change, a rapid aging and weakening of the body. So of course you immediately say, well, we have gold. We're going to go to all these clerics, and you spent the last month or so spending gems and gold and doing minor quests for every cleric you could find of every god that was around and every magic user that had an ancient scroll, and nobody seems to be able to lift this curse. And you're getting weaker and weaker by the day. Um, you would imagine that if a cure is not found soon, that your body will start to wither, and you can't imagine being around for another year. Uh, you think you'll end up being the pallet dust, but there's hope. One drunken man after another told the story of an ancient shrine where people had traveled from all over the world beneath a tree that is blooms all year round. In this shrine, it is said that all can be healed. So you're now at a very small town, a village. It's such a small village that it doesn't even really have a name, and it's at the edge of this kind of large tract of grasslands that kind of separates the two countries, kind of a neutral space. It is the late autumn, almost winter. The days are short, the weather's cold, the grass is frozen, um, and as you kind of sit in what could pass as a tavern in this place, um, an ancient woman um, tells you that she remembers from when she was a child uh, this supposed shrine, and she knows where it is, and she can actually point you in that direction. Uh, about 15 miles across the grassy plains grows the tree, she says. The tree where is always summer. Uh, that is where we will find the shrine. So it is late afternoon on a winter or nearly winter's day. You're gathered around a table, beat, tired, and let's have you guys intro your characters, and we will kind of go from there. And you can say what you want to do. I will just start with Tony.
The large man, even with the curse, is withering their bodies physically and mentally. He's still a very large, portly man, but is sitting there wearing his robes and his outfits with this reddish blonde beard and hair. Um, Resembles more of somebody from the north than he does someone from the summer continents. But he's sitting there and he's taking a drink out of a mug of the ale that they serve at this little place. And oh, it seems fate maybe will deliver us where we need to go to find a resolution to this curse that has affected all of us, it would seem. That is Odu the Vast, the magic users. He looks towards the next character to see what they have to say about it.
Excellent. Crystal?
Sitting with him is an elven woman with long, dark hair. She carries a large sword on her back, and even with her 130 years of sword and magical training, it feels as if this sword is just, too heavy for her now. She should be almost in her prime, but this curse is really getting to her. She says, yeah, let's hope that this time the rumors are true. Of course, we probably wouldn't even be in this mess if it weren't for, well, you already know. And she puts up her hand in protest and takes a drink. And that is Fazrolin.
Excellent. Nikki.
You see a pale-haired, almost silvery-skinned elf, and she is thinking to herself, thank goodness that I was born with hair this pale, or it would be quite the bother to have my hair turn white so prematurely. And she is looking over at Phaserwin and says, I didn't mean to do it. I didn't mean to curse us all. I mean, maybe stop bringing that up? And she takes a drink, and I'm playing Nim.
Excellent. And Yang, tell us about your character.
Bori Bori is an elf. He is struck with wanderlust about 3 years ago, and he left his home, particularly because he has a couple of years that are about 3 times as long as normal elf, and he was made fun of in his hometown. So he left the place, looking for adventures, and eventually he found this particular group. He didn't really expect to be cursed by entering that cavern, but that's what happens when you adventure. So I'm going to be playing Bori Bori, the elf who is well-versed in the words sound and wind. Excellent.
So as I say, it's near the end of day. I mean, near the end of day being like around 6 o'clock, because it's basically the winter. The sun is setting. You would imagine that since it's grassy plains that you have to cross, to go about 15 miles would take a full day, especially, in the state that you're in. You haven't got horses or anything anymore. You're basically broke now. You went from months ago being some of the richest people that, around with all the gems pouring out of your pockets to now being essentially broke, having to sell off most of your possessions, in all these various, quests and donations to temples for their services. But you figure 15 miles will probably take you across grassy plains a day. If you leave like at first light, you think you could get there, in the basically, hopefully before it gets dark. I mean, of course you could travel, in the evening as well, but it is cold and, wild beasts and such. So yeah, so this old lady is, the tavern is basically just a communal spot where those from this village, we'll call it, which is really about 10, houses, they kind of all have their gardens and work together, and they kind of have a bit of a commune here. So, and in the evenings, or if there's strangers in town, they gather together and eat, kind of in this large table, and that's where you are now. Most of the people have eaten and are heading back before it gets dark to their residence, as they generally get up, early for their farming and such. The old lady that's with you, she actually, this is her house. She lives in this large building, so she tells you, the wood is over there. If you plan to stay the night, please keep the fire stoked. I don't like to wake up to be cold. It's terrible getting old,
I wish I did not.
Yes, we're learning.
It's a terrible shame that you were not here in the summer. The fields full of songbirds. Now all I hear is the cry of crows at night as they are seeking out the little warmth they can find.
Well, spring shall return again, and summer to follow. I'm sure you will still live to see another. Hopefully we can say the same.
Yes, if the gods will. And then she kind of gets up slowly from the table, and she has like a cane. She starts to move back towards the kind of the back part of the room, and it kind of the way this place is set up is this large kind of room with the table, where people serve the food, whatever. And she goes through a door. She basically lives on the other side. There's a large like fireplace in the center of the building, so she's like on the other side of the fire now. You hear her kind of, whatever, kicking off her boots and getting into the bed. There's like straw mats or whatever that they laid out for you that you can stay here if you would like.
I'd say you stay for the night, head out in the morning.
Yes, I believe that will be the best. And Odin will go and you see him pick up a couple logs to put on the fire. He also goes if there's like a little corner table that's, is there, I guess there's windows, a couple windows that look outside.
Yeah.
He'll go to one of those corner tables that probably has a candle that's been blown out, but he gets real close down to the candle and he puts his hand up like he's going to whisper, like he's whispering to the candle, but he actually blows on the candle. And I'm using my spell light to make it light back up magically to stay lit for the night.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, that should be a pretty simple task. So we'll say that's just like a 6.
It's
so
2d6 plus level, right?
Plus level, yeah. So
that'll be 9 total then.
Yeah, you easily, this is something you've done many times. A single candle lighting, the light of a candle, so about 5 foot radius, just a dim candle light, and it lights up.
As Fazerwin gets her mat together and she lays down, the fire crackling a bit, she would like to say, come on, fire, burn all that wood. Give us all the heat you can spare. And she would like to cast her strength to make the fire burn stronger.
Oh, interesting. That's not, strength is maybe not the way that I would describe fire. So I would say to make fire get bigger with strength is kind of on the outskirts of what you could do. So that's going to be like a 12.
Yeah. Oh, cool. I rolled an 11 plus my level 3 of...
Oh, nice.
14.
Yeah, so the fire starts to burn up, and you see the wood kind of burning up faster. So you'll need to put more wood on sooner, but it is hot.
Fazerwin will lay down.
Anybody else want to
Rest.
Odu looks over at Fazer and goes, I just put 2 big logs on the fire. Or are you trying to burn them out too quick so I'll have to stay up and put more?
Old joints, yada yada, and she curls up in her blanket.
Well, you're the one that does not need rest like the old man here does. You stay up and tend to it.
Well, if it's your wish to slow down the fire, I could simply make sure that we have little less wind near the fire. Should I slow it down a little bit?
Oh, you kids and your magic tricks.
Oh, Odu.
As the old man that just lit a candle.
Right?
I have to tell you, Odu, I must be at least 3 times as old as you are. But let me demonstrate. And he's going to take the wind away from the fire a little bit.
Okay. All right. Sure. That would, you're just going to try to draw it back a bit, or you want to like put it out, or just put it back where it was?
He's going to try to take the wind away from it, suffocating it just a tad bit. So if the flame was really large, then he's going to try to reduce it just a tiny bit.
Okay, yeah, that should be like an average thing. So we'll say 8.
It's
So 2d6 plus your level,
6.
so plus 3.
You'll roll 2 1s and burn the building down.
Right? He's got to go somewhere.
I made it. I rolled 9.
Oh yeah, no problem. Yeah, so you cause a bit of a, or you stop basically the draft, so the wind doesn't, the air doesn't quite get to the fire as much as it was, and it drops down a bit, and then it then comes back, and when it does, the fire's lower.
Nice. See, Odu, nothing to it.
Perfect.
Nikki?
Oh yeah, I could. Okay, I'm gonna use a little magic too. Then everyone else is being kind of silly. I will pull a spark from the fire using trickery and try to catch Odu's robes on fire as a joke.
Oh,
This is how we get PvP.
See, this game may set a record for the shortest one.
yeah, exactly. You're gonna pop
Just a little
bit
spark,
of,
and unless you
yeah.
think it'd be better to do like an illusion, unless you think trickery is more like an illusory thing. I wasn't sure.
Oh, so you want him to believe that it's no? What is it you're trying to achieve? You actually want it to be on fire?
No, I'd rather do illusion-wise, but
Yeah. So you want him to believe that it's on fire?
correct.
Just him?
Just him.
Okay. So I don't think it would be hard to do that because of what's going on, but he is going to get a saving throw because you're well. I think technically the saving throw is only if they're greater level than you, but I'm going to say that being that he's a wizard. So all you need to roll is an 8 to make it happen, but he'll get a saving throw whether or not he believes it or sees the illusion. Rather.
Okay. An 8? Yep, that is actually what I roll. 2d6
All right,
plus
yeah.
level. Yeah, 8.
Yeah. So I guess roll a tell us what he sees, and then Tony make a saving throw, and if you see it, you kind of know that it's an illusion.
Tony, you see kind of a couple sparks that you think may have come from when Bori moved the wind away from the fire. A couple sparks came with it and catch on the hem of your robes there and start kind of smoldering.
All right. It's a save or spells.
Yeah, do a save versus spells. If you succeed, you can see it's an illusion.
You see, Odu, when you do that, you see him look back at it, and he brings out his hand, and he goes, poof. And he goes, ha ha ha. You almost got me, but not quite. I rolled a 17 on my save.
Oh,
Nice.
she kind of looks at you, just gives you a little grin, like, well, and shrugs, maybe next time.
Yeah, and you wonder why you all got cursed.
Oh, Nim, every time you play a trick on Odu, it's me that end up getting in trouble with him. But this time,
Sorry.
at least he caught on.
Yes, it's a shame.
Excellent. Okay, so yeah, I mean, you go on through the night having a good time. If you want, they left out. She left out like a pitcher of wine, warmed wine for you guys, and like I said, there's mats. You probably, if you don't want to do anything else, major, you can retire for the evening. And before you know it, I mean, maybe one of you had to get up during the night to run a log on the fire, but before you know it, some light of dawn is cracking through the windows, and the day is breaking. You can actually, pretty much as soon as you hear some noises and you kind of maybe open your eyes and people are moving around outside, and you can see that you're just getting the break of dawn. Like people will get up like as soon as the light starts, and they're doing work out in the streets and stuff. And after like a minute or two, the old lady comes from the back room, and she says, I hope you slept well.
Fezerlin is probably first up already, getting her armor on, getting ready to head out. She says, yes, it was a peaceful night. Thank you for the stay and the drink. It was very nice wine. And Fezerwin is going to pull out of her coin purse, like just the last few gold pieces she has, and like lays them on the counter.
She looks at it. She says, "Oh, thank you very much. We must always take in travelers. You never know when you may also need to stay with somebody. This is our way. I will put this into the treasury." And then she takes it and she kind of slides it into into her hand, and then she walks over and puts it in like a box. It's kind of behind the counter.
This is the way.
Mm-hmm. So she had kind of given you directions. Essentially you're going to walk out, basically towards the sun. That you're going to go east, and you should be able to find this tree. The grassy plains are just that. They're grassy plains, but you can definitely, it's this spatterings of trees, like small, areas with multiple trees, individual trees. The vast majority of them are, hibernating basically for the winter. There's no leaves on them. And you can see the occasional, rabbit or small kind of, field animal kind of scurry by, or they're at the little puddles. The grass itself is kind of got a frost on it. It's crackly as you walk. And as the lady noted, there's in the trees you definitely do see there's no lack of crows, kind of sitting, watching, and cawing as you travel.
As we travel, Fezerwin will say, "Bori, why don't you give us a little bit of hiking music to get ourselves going in a good rhythm?"
It's music that you want? Well, I could try to do my best here. And he's going to wave his fingers, and he's going to point at these reeds and say, "Wind, water." And, kind of like that scene from Little Mermaid. He's going to try to manipulate sound and come up with a little bit of a pleasant percussion, beat, I guess. It's
From
not
like
going to be like
water dripping and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I mean,
he's going to make it sound, pretty musical. It's like, that kind of thing. I don't know.
okay, yeah, that sounds. Because those sounds already exist, you're basically just amplifying them in a certain manner so it can come off as music.
Yeah, just timing him right so that they would sound sort of musical.
All right, that sounds fairly simple. So I'd say that's an 8. So 8's like your base roll. So most things will be 8 unless it's
Snake eyes.
really.
Yeah.
Oh hell yeah! So this might be the shortest of all adventures ever.
Oh man.
I mean, I could. No, I'm not gonna do that. I could make something up relevant to what exactly you're trying to create, but I feel like the most obvious thing would be for you to go deaf. But that feels really shitty for somebody whose thing is sound. So I think I won't do that. So let's just do a general catastrophe. Let's see.
No.
All right, let's try. This is out of Wonders and Wickedness. Let's see. I guess because you're controlling the... This is different... okay, so it's not really that. Since you're controlling nature, I'll do elementalism. Let's see. Would that be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7? Hold on, there's only 7? Oh, there's 7, there's not 8. Oh, no, there's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I roll a d12. This could be absolutely terrible. I'm just going to point that out right now. Huh.
Oh, man.
So roll a d12.
Oh, D12, right?
Yep. Oh, boy.
All right. 11.
11. Well, that's always good. Oh. Oh, wow. Okay, no, this is actually good, but not good.
Oh,
Winter
no.
comes early. Many crops are destroyed. The lands nearby are ravaged by Arctic storms. So you go to start to make this thing going, and a blizzard just comes ripping out of nowhere through the, through the land. You can tell that it's going to be bad. Like you're like half a day's walk out, and you think that by the time like snow is coming down like a foot an hour. Like you think you're going to get buried out here.
Well, here we go. Is there a way I can lessen this?
I mean, you could probably help prevent the weather. I mean, you could do whatever you want. What do you want to do? And I'll tell you what. I mean, you can't stop it because it's a catastrophe. So that would be a godlike thing. But you could lessen it around you. You could make it easier for you to travel in it.
That's what I was thinking. Make it less of a whiteout so that we had a little more distance vision and a little less trouble walking.
Okay, yeah, because it was going to slow you down significantly. I'll say, though, that because it's against a catastrophe, it's going to be hard. So I'm going to say a 12.
Is everyone aware that it was Bori's doing?
Yeah, probably.
Bori's just gonna
make some marching music. This is
you
literally
literally
the
go to cast
opposite
a
of what I
spell.
wanted.
But basically,
Well,
what
I
happens-
hear the music.
yeah, you start to whisper these magical words, and then it doesn't do what you wanted it to do. Literally, the storm comes. So, yeah, I think it's probably pretty obvious.
Bori's gonna look around and says, Phaserwind, I don't think it's a good time for music. I think something terrible has awakened somewhere, somehow.
Oh, man. Yeah, let's see if you can make it easy to travel so you can actually get to this place today.
No, a 10.
Okay, no. So,
Nope.
yeah, what's that?
Nope, nothing.
Oh, did you roll 10 or 10 was the total?
10 was the total.
Oh, yeah.
7, I mean 7 plus 3.
Yeah. Yeah, you're unable to prevent. I mean, you probably do something, but it doesn't actually really matter. In fact, which one of you guys is navigating?
I guess Fazer one, because I said I was like, already ready to go and stuff.
All right, roll a d6 to see if you get lost.
All right, awesome. 4.
4. Okay, that's cool. You guys travel. I mean, it's you know that it's probably. I mean, it gets dark. I mean, it's a blizzard, so. I mean, I know you guys are in the south. Some of you guys are in the south, but yeah, it gets dark. I mean, it gets very dark. So you travel for another few hours, and you think at this point you probably should have made it there if it wasn't for all the trouble that what happened. And you do in fact find a very large or a series of very large trees that you think you could probably camp out in and get out of the weather a bit. But you're going to have to camp out tonight, you think, because it's just too dark for you to continue to travel. And it's getting very, very, very cold.
I mean, is there any way we can gather some firewood, or, I mean, everything's going to be wet now, right? Or
Yeah, I mean, there's trees, but they are pretty much, well, yeah, they're pretty much, I mean, it's the winter, so they don't have leaves and stuff, but they're pretty much alive. You can probably break off some branches from the bottom that would be doable, but yeah, they're probably going to be very wet unless you have some way of dealing with that.
Maybe Bori could blow wind at them and dry them off.
no, let's not let Bori do anything.
And then he says, "Oh, what did I do to end up in this hateful place?"
You wish.
While they're doing that, you're going to see Odu, seeing it get dark and they're building an encampment. He's going to walk like a 30-foot radius circle around from where we're camping out, and you'll see he's dropping these little white pebbles. And what I basically want to do is I'm going to make like a 30-foot radius of light of where we're at to kind of keep it, lit.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, if you drop them on the ground, they're going to get buried. You could put them in the trees if you want.
Yeah.
Or is that just for flavor? You just want to make
he's just doing that as flavor, to make the spell radius.
All right, that's fine. Yeah, that'll be like a normal spell. So that'll be like a 8.
Ooh, that's 11 total.
All right, nice. Yeah, so you're able to, even though it's dark and you can not really see the snow coming down, And there's not much shelter, of course, because the trees don't have any leaves on them. But you know, at least you're somewhat blocked from the wind and you're lit up now. And you do see that some trees you could probably break some branches off, but yeah, it's going to be tough to get a good fire going. So it's probably going to be a pretty miserable night unless you have some means to not make it miserable.
Odu lets out a hearty chuckle and goes, "You always make fun of me when I wear my big black heavy fur cloak here, but I'm glad I brought it this time."
And you see Bori, you know, his teeth chattering, and he's looking at you and says, I don't think I'll ever make fun of your robe ever again, Odu.
Yeah.
I have 2 large, like sacks. I imagine they're like thick cloth sacks, and some rope. Could I possibly you know, make a ridge line and maybe make a quick like lean-to to keep the wind off of us better?
Sure, that sounds legit. You can definitely do that. So you cut up your sacks and you make basically a windbreak. You know, and probably also just you clear out some area on the ground where there was snow, so you don't have to sit in the snow. And then that you could also build like a bit of a wall with that, because you're now looking at about 3.5, 4 feet of snow on the ground by the time this thing ends, which it does in the middle of the night. But everybody should roll a d20 and try to get under your con. To see, you know, how this might have affected you.
Oh yeah, way under.
Oh, wow. My con is 5, and I just rolled 15.
Okay.
My con is 8, and I rolled a 14.
Oof.
Okay.
Okay.
I rolled 3 over my con.
Okay. Yeah, so if you rolled over, you're just going to basically be -1 on everything that you do. You know, until you basically have a chance to get someplace that's warm and secure and rest a bit. So just across the board, -1 and everything. Yeah.
Considering the
Odu's
situation,
over in like his big jacket, like, sure is warm in here, and we're all like, oh god damn, it's the wind down.
Yep.
considering the situation, Bori's gonna try to cast magic. He's gonna try to make the wind, you know, bypass them, sort of like, you know, in a swirling fashion, so that there's gonna be a little vortex, you know, leaving these guys protected from this, you know, worst of the gusts.
Oh, you're gonna make a blizzard tornado. Great.
I
Which
mean,
was my original
so,
thought.
Kind of
Yeah,
like an
so
eye
if
of
you-
the storm.
yeah, you can do that. Or you can do it with the weather. The only thing is, to make it last like you'll either have to keep casting it, because the basic cast length is going to be a turn per level, so 30 minutes. If you want to do it like all night, you'll have to just keep on casting it over and over again. Or if you want it to last longer, it'll just be a harder spell to cast. Like to normally cast it would just be like an 8. But if you want to like make it last all night, it's going to be a 12.
Okay, I'm gonna try to do 12.
Right.
Please no snake eyes. Please no snake eyes.
Oh my god.
Okay, I rolled 13, and that's actually with the -1 exactly at 12.
Oh, nice. Okay. Yeah, you're able to put up a bit of a windbreak that helps, of course, and also with the lean to. Oh, also, Young, I should mention, if just in case you didn't read it, if you ever roll doubles, let me know, because doubles
Yep.
can mean as doubles.
I rolled 2 5s, and with that, I got you know, with +3, I ended up getting 13. So
So you
I
didn't need
just
to do
rolled
it.
double. Yeah.
Because if you roll doubles and you don't succeed, then you can actually roll an extra die, and it can affect it. But of course, if you
Ooh,
succeed,
nice.
you shouldn't bother.
Cool.
It's not worth
Gotcha.
it. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Except for double 1s, clearly, and double 6s, because double 6s are a crit. All right, so yeah, you make it through the night. You know, with the wind cut down a bit, and with the shelter that you built, you know, and you're still going to be the -1, but you, as the sun's breaking, you're pretty. Oh, that was weird. You're still there, right? Yeah. Like Zoom just appeared for me for a second, then came right back. I don't know what just happened.
We're
That was
still
bizarre.
here. I think I'm still here.
Yeah. Okay. I was like, I think I just like touched something and it went behind everything. But I was like, where'd Zoom go? Anyways, yeah. So as the sun's starting to come up, you see that you think, although it's hard to say because you can't really even see the footprints that you came from, you're pretty sure that you're still heading in the right direction, although you have no idea how far it is. And you can see that, yeah, there's a huge, I mean, it's going to be slow going because there's so much snow in front of you, that you have to go actually either direction because you're completely basically snowed in. And it is the winter, so it's not like it's going to melt right away. So yeah, you guys will be moving at like half-ish speed because of that awesome magic. So good. Oh man. All right. Awesome. So
There's no way. I'm sorry.
What's that? Go ahead.
There's no way for me to like use my weather sense to pull some heat out of the air and melt a path in front of us.
I mean, to actually pull enough heat to melt a path, that would be very, very difficult. I mean, you can the sun is already out, and it will actually melt. But to like do like a going in front of you for like a miles, that's
Too hard.
I think that'd be beyond something you could do at your level, I think. Yeah, I mean, you could try because there is a chance you could roll double sixes and then roll again and get another 6. So it is possible to actually get a really, really high roll. I mean, it is possible, but I think that would be like an 18. To like literally cut like that's godlike at that point.
Yeah, no, it's unlikely. I'll try and save that luck for something else if I get that lucky.
Yeah, because I mean, again, nothing's impossible. Yeah, so you charge through the snow. I mean, the good thing is, because you did that, I didn't have to like roll a random monster for you guys to fight because that was much more awesome. So, thanks, John. Yeah, so you travel. I mean, you were about roughly halfway there, you imagine. So you travel all day sludging through the snow. You're tired and wet. Most of you guys feel really terrible because of the weather. Somebody was smart enough to bring a big heavy cloak, so they're not that worried about it. And as you're starting to the sun's starting to dip behind you, your shadows like casting forward in front of you on this like snow that's glistening as it's melting down. You see like maybe a mile or so in front of you what looks to be a tree that is perfectly in bloom. It's kind of slightly on a hill. It's of course got a lot of snow around it, but right around the base of it doesn't look like there's a lot of snow, and because of course the leaves blocked it. And it's just on the downside of the hill towards you. It looks like there's some kind of like a ruined structure as well. This is like maybe a mile away.
This looks like the place that we have been searching for.
I think you're right, Faz.
Let's get this cure and get back to that inn.
Do any of you have any type of spell that you can send forth up there to see if there's any kind of protections against it?
Well, if we see any arcane writings or anything at the roots, I might be able to do something. But as of this moment, I have no way of knowing.
I don't think I have anything.
Well, we will continue forward then and hope it's no kind of protections to keep us out.
Well,
Okay.
how about we throw some snowballs? Mori picks up and makes a snowball and throws it towards the tree.
It's like a mile away.
Oh, okay.
Unless you want to use your wind to get it there.
I'm sure he could throw it that way, but I don't think he would actually know whether if it, dissipates upon hitting certain barrier.
Exactly.
Unless somebody has knowledge magic.
Let's get closer to the tree, and if one of us has knowledge magic, which one of us does, then I can use it.
Excellent.
Okay, yeah.
So
you guys are
will,
Go ahead.
charge forward. Sorry.
Yeah, you're trudging towards this, towards this ruined area. I'll show you what it looks like. I have a little picture. If I can do this. Nope, that's not it.
Faz.
Bad.
That's the whole desktop. Where's the... Huh. Hold on a second. Oh, that's why. Okay. You have to actually open the picture if you want to share it. Okay, so, you're coming from like over here. The tree, just beyond this is a hill. And up on top of the hill is the tree. You can see this is mostly ruined with the walls. I mean, these walls are only maybe 6-7 feet tall. So, but by now with some of the snow is melted and some of it's blown, you can kind of see some like very low structure that's broken down. There are 3 buildings, though, that are in pretty good shape. That they look fairly ancient that you see here. And again, imagine there's like a hill that comes here and on top of it is a tree. Nothing seems to be, stopping you from getting there. You're like maybe a few hundred yards away from the ruins now. Of course, you could go around them. I mean, you don't have to go through them to get to the tree. If you want to go around and go up the side, you can do that as well. Or you could walk through them to get to the tree, or you could explore them, or you could do whatever you like. But I will say this is starting to get dark.
The rumor is that the place is under the tree, right? Or are these ruins technically under the tree? Perhaps they are worth investigating.
Well, it is said that it's the shrine under the tree, so I would think that this is it. But we may gain something by investigating the tree first. I wouldn't want to just walk in there and be set by some monsters that are hiding in there.
We have to find somewhere to camp if it's getting dark.
That's true.
Yes, and those buildings seem to be somewhat secure to keep us away from the weather.
Besides, there may be knowledge within that if one of us has knowledge magic, could use it and determine something.
Bori nods and he waves his hand, and he's going to try to basically make it so that they wouldn't make too much sound as they travel.
Oh, okay. Like a silent walking, you can do that. I mean, there's 4 of you, so what I'll say is that it's an 8 for you, and then every point over will be another person. So to get the whole party, it would be 12. But if you only get 8, you'll still be silent at least.
Okay. Well, he's going to try for the entire group.
Yeah,
there we go.
That's fine.
One of them is 6, and the other one is 1. 9. So he fails.
9. Okay. Yeah, just basically, maybe there's like you and whoever was standing closest to you. We'll say Fezwin was standing the closest to you because they're just having that conversation. Your footsteps are muffled by the magics, but the other 2 were too far away. Maybe they were, and it just didn't reach that far.
Cool.
So you hear some crunchies and smushing through snow, of the other 2, and you're just like, that didn't work so well. But you guys are silenced. I mean, and you'll be silenced for 30 minutes. So if you want to scout ahead or whatever, you could have the other one stop, or you can just go in there and just not worry about it. It's up to you. But it's getting dark. In 30 minutes, it will be dark.
Yeah, Bori's going to scout ahead.
Okay. Will go.
All right, yeah. You guys kind of move up into this ruined space. You see, I guess I can show you the map again. I don't know why I closed it. Like I said, you see basically what is equivalent of it, basically 3 buildings. You have this building here. You got the second building that actually looks like it has an open ceiling. So with snow, of course, it's probably got snow inside of it. And then you have this other small building here. None of them have doors. None of them have doors. They just have like doorways. And from, being that it's getting dark, although actually the sun is coming this way, so you can actually see kind of into this one, I'd say, because the door's on the right side, and kind of into this. This looks like it drops down, like there might be a staircase in it. This one looks like it goes into a kind of a small chamber that does not seem to have any snow in it. And there is actually some kind of an old, like a mural here on the wall. On the outside, you can actually see it, although it's pretty worn down because it's been exposed to elements.
Go ahead.
Fezerwin is going to approach the building with the mural on it.
Mm-hmm.
She'll first take a peek inside. And did Odu and Nymph come with them?
Yeah, I would have been, knowing that y'all were silent, I would have stayed, good 30, 40 feet behind y'all to let y'all have the advantage or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So Fezerwin will peek in with her infravision.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, it's not so dark that would really even make a difference because yet, unless you want to wait. You look in. This space seems to be very little, if any, snow has blown in here. I mean, it's a blizzard, so of course some snow blew in. What you immediately notice is lots of small animals like rabbits, and you even see like maybe a fox, squirrels, stuff like that. They seem to be dried for the most part, or you see like small areas of like bones. The interior of this space looks like it had again some kind of painted murals, but they're very, very faded, just like the one outside. They're kind of hard to make out what they are exactly, but they are they're clearly religious. You can tell by just the nature of how they're done. But what exactly they are, just looking at you wouldn't really be able to tell.
You said that there are squirrels and rabbits that are dried, so someone's been living here, using this as a drying house?
Yeah, more like not a drying house in the sense that like a human would stretch things, more like they're dried husks because they were left after they were eaten, kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, more like
Bori's gonna try to cast a spell.
Right.
He's going to cast amplify, not on himself, but so that he could listen better.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. All right. I mean, yeah. If you just wanted a bonus for listening, then go ahead and just an 8. Be mindful.
All right. I rolled 11 plus 3, so 14.
Oh, yeah. All right. I mean, we'll listen roll for you. You hear the sound basically of still little bits of wind coming in. You hear kind of crackling, because everything's super amplified of things settling and stuff, but nothing that really seems super out of place for what you're hearing, the silence of a tomb, if you will.
Yeah, his ear twitches and he turns to Fezerwin and says, "It's quiet in here."
Fezerwin will nod, and she's gonna point to herself and point to the building right next to the one with 3 doors. That one, yeah. As if she's gonna move up there, and then she's gonna point to Bori and point him towards where those stairs are to get him to and put her hand up to her ear to get him to listen down those stairs. And she's gonna just have her hand on her sword ready to draw, and she's gonna move up to that first building, to the first door, and she's gonna look inside that building and see what's there.
Okay, yeah. So you start moving that way. Are you also gonna move up and do as requested?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, that's fine. I mean, you'll get there first, Resident, so I will do you first. As you walk up to this building, you look in, you can see that some snow has got in. Clearly, there was an open roof. What you immediately notice, though, is that there looks like there's, for lack of a better word, tracks. Not so much that they're footprints, but more like it looks like things have been dragged across the snow. You immediately notice that on the ground. The walls in here are in high relief. So they've they've stood the test of time, even though they're basically outside, unlike the murals in the other one. They seem to depict people. There's several kind of stories in high relief around the walls. That seems to depict people traveling in the evening, because you see the moon, and worshiping or kneeling in front of a very, very large, like a face, like a large bald-headed kind of neutral face. They seem to be kneeling in front of it. All of them are doing this. It's like through a progression. They travel, they kneel in front of it. They have various issues. Like one's got a cane. You can see that they're all, they all have some kind of malady. They kneel in front of the face, and then the last like frame of each one is during the day. You see the sun, and them leaving. Walking back across the plains. Yeah. So, without studying them more, that's the overview of the room.
All right.
So as you're kind of looking at that, you come up and you can look into that space, Bori, and you can see that it's really well-made, heavy stairs going down into the darkness. And since you're kind of in the light, it's hard for you to use your infravision to see very far. But it looks like they go down at least 20, maybe 30 feet. And you can only see down there, yeah.
He takes a moment to listen.
Okay. Do you want to cast your spell again, or are you just going
to... I thought it was a duration spell for about...
Well, you cast it on the space, though, not on your head.
Yeah, he's going to cast it on himself, so that this time he's going to do it himself.
Okay, that's fine.
And this time I got 12.
Oh, wow. Okay. It seems pretty quiet. You can hear what sounds like some dripping sounds, like water, and also the sound of if you probably think back to sitting along in the spring along the side of a small pond, and the sound of the fish kind of swishing through the water. You can kind of hear that kind of sound.
Okay. Yeah, he's going to turn around and says, I hear some moving water, some drips and splashing, gurgling.
Are you going to yell it? Because she's pretty far away from you at this point. She's a good 50 feet away from you.
Yeah, he says it. Because everything's pretty much amplified. He thinks that he's yelling it out, but he's actually pretty much whispering, and not realizing that she's not listening. He just says, "Oh well," and then just looks at the darkness, and motions to her with his hand.
Yeah, she looks at him and nods acknowledgingly, and then she holds up her hand to, as if, wait a minute. And she wants to first, as she comes in this building, she wants to first look at these drag marks. And this is snow. This snow has drag marks in it, so it has to be at least fairly fresh, right? But is there, can she tell, how long it's been since something's been dragged through the snow, or,
Well, you know that it snowed less than 24 hours ago. And the snow has melted a bit. What's been dragged is not so big, and you would probably be able to put two and two together that that's roughly the same size as some of the other stuff that you saw, like how you saw some rabbits and stuff like that were dried husks in the other room. It looks like maybe things about that size have been dragged. Nothing super big.
Okay. She wants to look at this face, and seeing as people are worshiping it, she thinks that this must be some kind of at least a symbol of a god or something. And she would like to say, give me insight into who you are. And she would like to use her knowledge spell to see if she can figure out who or what this face represents.
Okay, this is actually a pretty obscure religious thing, so it's going to be a 10.
Okay.
And I'll base like what I tell you based on how high of a roll you get. So higher is still better, but 10 is minimum.
Oh yes, boxcars! Ha ha!
You got 6? Does two
I
sixes?
got 2 6s. I got boxcars.
Nice. Excellent. So that's a critical. So the best possible outcome. So you will get all the information about this god. So this is the implacable visage. It was used or set up by a series of monks that worshipped god Panar, whose temple this is or whose shrine this is. The actual the visage itself or the god itself does not actually heal. What it does is it makes you okay with the fact that you cannot be healed, and it basically gives you solace so that you can accept. However, because you got critical, you would know that over time, people actually started to get healed at this temple, although that part is lost in history. And the monks actually, because of that, shut the temple down because they didn't want people to be healed because that's not what their god believes. Their god believes that you should accept your fate, basically. So that's why this temple was deserted.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah, like all this knowledge just swells in her mind, and she has so many kind of confused emotions at that. So she'll go outside and she'll go ahead and motion to the other two to come up, and then she will wave Bori Bori over to her. And she's going to step inside that temple and wait on them so she can explain everything in there.
Bori comes.
Yep, I would come up when I see it's safe or that she thinks it's safe.
You're going to the big building, you said?
Yeah, the one that has the roof without a hole in it.
As you're approaching Nim to walk in, you see actually you look kind of maybe to where Bora came from, just out of the side of the corner of your eyes, and then you think you see something moving, as he's walking away. It doesn't come out or anything. It just looks like it's on the stairs or something, and it goes down quickly. It's hard to say. It's almost like it's a movement, a shadow or something.
Bori, did you hear anything when you listened down there?
Did he fall down the well?
You're talking at normal volume, so it's so loud for him, it's blowing his brains.
Right.
I think maybe he stepped out. I can't see the chat because I have the sharing screen on.
I don't see that.
Well,
but to answer your question, he did not. He heard basically. I don't know if you heard that part. He heard like fish splashing in the pond, basically.
yeah, I did hear. I just was
Okay.
Since I saw something, my character was asking, but
No, I understand. So I will answer for him. No, I just heard fish splashing in a pond.
Yeah. Okay.
Let me cause another blizzard.
Is it completely dark? Is it completely dark yet?
It is pretty darn dark. Yeah, it's that time because now you got clear skies. There's a clear sky usually after a blizzard. So there's stars and the moon's out and stuff. So it's not like pitch dark, but it's dark. Yeah.
Well, Fazer, you're calling us to the building with the with the roof, or the first building you went into?
The one that has a hole in the roof. That one, yes, the temple.
Okay.
I'm calling you there because I want to show you guys this.
I'm just going to say 1 second, and I'm going to go up and just peek down the stairs.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, again, it's not completely dark, but it's dark enough that your infravision really starts to kick in a bit. And it's definitely, it's a little strange actually, because overall you're getting this kind of like hazy warmth, like it's warm down there, which is interesting. Yeah, you think you see like some shadow dart across the passageway. It looks like it goes down into a passageway and goes straight across, and you see another shadow kind of move, but you don't hear anything. You just kind of see.
Just see it.
Yeah.
Okay, I go back to Faz and Odu, and I say, I don't care what he may or may not have heard. I think there might be something down there.
As you say this, Faz will turn around. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Did you see something, or what brings you to that?
Well, when we were walking up towards there, I saw a shadow, and then when I went to take a closer look, I saw another shadow. I didn't hear anything. It's just a shadow.
Well, maybe I can do something to help. If there is something down there that's lurking, and maybe I can help take away their vision a little bit. And how wide is that opening, Daniel, to that small building? Like,
About 15 feet.
about 15 feet wide and
Yeah.
10 feet high, probably? Or
Yeah.
what I want to do is I want to use my dark spell, and what I'm trying to do is I want to put like a wall of dark in that space that, like, if there's something down there, when they look up, all they see is just complete pitch darkness, but they wouldn't be able to sense or detect us walking around up there.
Okay. Yeah, that should be. I mean, it's a relatively small area, so I'll say for a normal, casting, it would just be an 8. That's pretty
All right.
interesting.
Let's see. Wait, that's right. +3. Then I'll make it 9, just barely.
Okay. Yeah. I thought you rolled a 1 for double ones for a
No,
second.
not yet.
Waiting on that one. Yeah. So you see, it gets very dark, impenetrable darkness.
Yes,
kind of filling that.
Fazer, what did you want to show us? I think that maybe we're protected for a little bit now.
Fazerwin will say, it doesn't surprise me if there is something here. I've seen evidence that perhaps something living here. In the other building, there's, small bones of animals, and you can see the drag marks on the ground. So something is down there. Not too surprising to me. But either way, I found this, and she shows the mural, and, she says, it occurred to me as I was looking at it that this face must represent some kind of god. And apparently it was a very lonely god who has not been prayed to in a long time because, oh boy, they just poured their heart out to me. Apparently this god was once called the Incredible Visage. Its name is Pinar. But the thing is that this god cannot heal, or does not heal. I don't know if they cannot, but they do not. They only make you okay with the fact that you can't be healed, which, of course, is disappointing for us.
Wait, Facerwin. Are you saying that we've came all the way down here to be told that it's okay to be cursed?
Well, actually, at some point, people coming here actually did begin to get healed, which is why the monks abandoned it, because that wasn't in line with their god. Their god believed that you should be okay with not being able to be healed, but not actually healed. So there is some kind of healing magics here, perhaps.
I don't understand. If it gave them healing powers, then why would they abandon it? Wouldn't someone else?
Because it was not in line with what their god believed.
Well, now that we know, or maybe we will find out that this place heals, maybe we could open it up and invite people to come over here and get healed from curses for lots and lots of gold.
Let's not get too ahead of ourselves. Like I said, there were small bones in other building.
Cora, you hear, with your extra sensory hearings going on right now, what sounds like leaves rustling in a tree very rapidly, like.
And Bori says
And
something is coming. Does he know in which direction it's coming from?
Yeah, I mean, it's coming from the tree, the only tree that's within 50 miles away. There's literally one tree. Yeah, it sounds.
I hear some. Yep, he says, I hear something from the trees. Something's rustling up there.
Is it getting closer? Can you tell if it's getting closer with your special hearing?
His ear twitches and he says, let me concentrate.
How far is the tree from us?
Maybe like 30, 40 yards.
Okay.
At most. It's not very far away. It gets, it's uphill. You don't hear anything else. Like, it sounds like it stopped. I mean, you hear like normal, general rustling that the wind would blow normally, but you don't hear that anymore. It's like it happened really fast and then it stopped.
Will he be able to point out like which part of the tree probably he heard it from or not?
Probably not, because he didn't see it when it was happening.
Okay.
I mean, the tree's pretty big, but I mean, it's, at 30 yards, if you pointed at the tree, you're just pointing at the tree. You know what I'm saying? It's not that big.
Right.
Yeah, he says it's the uppermost limb, second from the.
I mean, maybe if you had rolled good on your negative on the other.
Right. Yeah. He says it's coming from the tree. I don't hear anything anymore. You know the sound that that you hear when a bunch of squirrels jump from one tree limb to another. All these rustling leaves. That's what I just heard. Something was up there in the trees, I think.
Well, I hate to say it, but I think we're going to have to make camp. If we look at this visage, it shows people coming and praying during the daytime when the sun is at its peak, and then leaving in the evening. So...
sorry, Crystal. It's 100% the opposite. They come in with the moon and they leave with the sun.
Oh.
Sorry, I didn't want to interrupt you, but that's what, yeah.
Oh, well then she says, well, perhaps we should go ahead and head down into the temple because this shows people coming to pray at night and leaving with the sun.
Yes, but not before I look at that tree. And then you see Bori like running towards the tree.
Okay, you can run to the tree. Anyone else?
Okay, so he's going to die. You guys want to go check out the temple?
You're going to see Odu as he takes off running that way. Odu he's going to take his staff and kind of stab it in the ground. And the top of it's going to light up. And I'm going to like make a spotlight where a light will shoot towards the area of where he's running to at the tree since it's so dark.
Oh, nice. All right, we'll say 9 for that because that's kind of a specialized.
Ooh, I'm going to miss it by 1. 8 total.
Okay, yeah. So you probably get a little, but it doesn't quite do what you want. All right, but you haven't vision. It's not that dark out, anyways. But you run up there, but that doesn't. Oh, yeah. Okay. Unfortunately, that would have prevented what's about to happen now. You run up there, and you are surprised as from behind the tree. It's hard to make out what it is. At first, I'll let you know if something happens right now. But it is maybe around the size of a dog. It is pale white. And as soon as you get near the tree, it like pops up out of the snow and it tries to like push you. And you kind of see the tree and you look, and right below the tree is a big, like a well, a hole in the ground. So you're being pushed if it can hit you. It's got a surprise on you. So let me just see if it hits you first, because that will make all the difference in the world. Oh, no, probably not. Let me see if I...
He's wearing a chainmail, and he has +1 from Dex.
Right. But what, yeah, and maybe 1 from your level too, is that true? What's because remember we're using the new system, did you calculate it with you using the new system?
+1 with the level.
Yeah, so +1 with the level, +1 for Dex, and chainmail is what, 14?
Chainmail 14, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it would be 16.
So it would be 16 total.
Yeah, it'd be 16. And if you have a weapon, but you didn't have a weapon, you're hammering you in that. It misses anyways. So there's 2 of them though, so the other one's gonna try to hit you too. Ooh, all right, that one got a... Let me just make sure I'm doing this right. You have to add there. Okay, so, actually, no, that +7. So 7 was it 16 or 15, the first one?
16.
Okay, so the first one just barely misses you. The second one hits you by a lot. It's not trying to do any damage to you, but it's going to. I'm going to have you roll a. It's going to push you, and you're going to start to fall. And I'll give you a chance to kind of save yourself by making a saving throw. Let's say versus paralyzation, which is probably pretty good for an elf. So
I roll 15. I believe that makes it.
that should make it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you actually get pushed by this thing, and you like spin around, and as you're like, oh shit, I'm going to fall. And there's actually like a what turns out to be, you realize as you grab it, a very, very thick kind of spidery web, and you kind of grab it, and it slows you a bit, and you're able to slam into the wall, and you like grab on, and you're kind of like hanging in this tunnel. You can see that the web goes down further, and you can see looking down at you are two like very large white spiders. When I say very large, so like the size of they're about 5 feet, so they're about the size of a big dog, and they're kind of looking down at you.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and you fell. Let's see. You actually fell about 30 feet. So actually that puts you, hold on, let me see how deep this thing is. You might actually be almost at the bottom. Yeah, actually you're only about 10 feet. You look down, you have vision. You look up about 30 feet. You see these things looking down at you. You look down and you can see that maybe like a few feet below you, you see what is now the dried husk of a small humanoid. It's hard to make out what it is at this moment. And below that, only about 10 feet, is a large pool of water. And you can see that, there's this pool, and then in the pool you see, best way to describe this. So you're hanging above it, basically looking out, you see that there's this pool of water, and you're hanging above the center of it, right? If you had entered the right way, not through the hole in the ceiling, you would have come down that set of stairs, which you see, and walked over what you might consider like a small like bridge, if you will, for lack of a better word, out to a kind of a small statue, human-sized statue. And then the bridge continues, although it's broken, so there's basically just water. And then just beyond that, you see a very large face on the wall that looks like the face that Crystal's character was talking about.
In the water, does he see anything that's swimming in there?
You can't really you do see the water is moving around a little bit. There's definitely a fish in there. I don't know that you really be able to penetrate the water with infravision though. So I'm going to say that it's hard to tell. You can see it swirling and stuff, and you can hear very well because probably you dropped stuff into the water, and you definitely hear something moving around in the water, but you can't really see through the water because it's dark, and I don't think the infravision would penetrate.
Looking up, what does he see? I mean, are there spiders coming after him now?
Well, okay, so that all happened in like 10 seconds. So, right now, they're. Let's roll initiative, and let's see what happens. They got a 4.
Yeah, I got a 2.
Okay, they scramble away.
Nice.
Yeah, they go and they don't come down. No. Up top, you guys probably didn't see them because they were kind of in the snow. You just probably heard, "Whoa!" But then you didn't hear a splash or a slam, so that's probably good. So what do you want to do? They scrambled away.
Okay. Bori's going to first shout. He's going to say, "Oh no! Faster wind! Nim! There are a couple of spiders down here! I'm okay!"
We can hear them pretty much, or?
Yeah, I mean, you definitely hear him screaming. I mean, I think you'd hear him, yeah. If you could make it out, I mean, that's, yeah, I'll say you can make it out a little bit anyways. You can definitely hear him screaming. Whether or not you can, you know what, just roll a d6, I guess. If you get a 1 or a 2, you can hear him well enough.
I got
Nope,
6.
I had a 5.
Okay.
I got a 6 as well.
I had a 1.
Okay, yeah, so you can actually understand him. The other two just hear like a scream, like do you hear that? And you're like, oh yeah, I can make it out because I have good hearing apparently.
Apparently, we just saw him disappear, right, and then scream.
Yeah, well, right, because basically he's running up the hill. You try to shoot your light spell. You're probably like, oh, that didn't work. You look down. Next thing you know, he's gone, and then you hear him screaming. Yeah, you probably didn't see him get pushed over because all the snow and they're white and. I'm going to say, plus I rolled, they had a 1 through 4 to surprise, and I rolled a 1. So I'm going to say that they were very well hidden. So,
Well, well, I tried to get him to go down the tunnel. He decided to run to the tree. Can we go down the tunnel now?
Well,
How
either
do
way, I
you
think
know
we're going to run into those spiders he's yelling about.
how do you know that tunnel leads to him?
But at this point, I don't care. He brought it upon himself.
Oh, we can't leave him to be devoured by spiders. Even I wouldn't play that kind of a trick.
Fine.
Yeah,
Bori Bori's like hanging onto that spider web thinking, boy, I hope these guys don't abandon me. It was me that brought this winter after all.
As Odu, as he approaches the tree, I want to use my light again and light up that whole area. Just to light up that whole area around the tree to see what we can observe since it's dark now.
Okay, so just like a general, like generic light
just
spell.
like a general,
Yeah, that's just an 8 for that.
Oh yeah, 10 total.
Cool. Yeah. So the area lights up.
Do we
you
see
can
the
see
spiders?
no, but you see lots of tracks, especially since you're looking for them. They seem to have scurried off. You actually see a lot of tracks from spiders. Like, you might think that, well, either they've come and gone many times, or there's like maybe up to like 6 or 8 spiders from what you can just kind of really quickly looking at it.
Let's move forward.
Fazerwin would like to say to, since she can't actually see Bori Bori, she'd like to just say to Nim, keep your sword and strong. And she would like to cast Strengthen and attempt to strengthen both herself and Nim.
Both of you. That's bold.
Yes.
Okay. I mean, if you can roll for every point over 8, you can add 1 point to your strength.
Okay, cool.
Or to theirs. You can divide it as however you want.
All right. Okay. I got 8 exactly.
Right, so you add 1 point to either.
Oh wait, no, I get a +3. I'm sorry. So that's 11.
Yep. So you can add 3 points then. Well, 4 points. Right? No, 11 would be 3 points.
Okay, I can add 3 points. Okay. What is your strength?
Well, and you rolled an 8?
I roll an 8. And
Yeah.
then I get a +3 because of my level.
Okay, yeah, so you'll get 4 points because the 8 itself is 1 as well. I should have said it like that. So 8, 9, 10, 11. So 4 points.
Okay, what's your strength score, Nim?
15.
Okay. Then, yeah, I'm just going to give 3 points to her to make her strength an 18. I don't think I can make it a 19. Actually, no, hold on. Hold on 1 second. 13 is a +1 strength, right?
I'm
And
got
your
the chart. Right here. Hang on. 13 to 15 +1. Yep. 16 to 17 +2.
okay, and you're at a 14, you said?
15.
Or 15?
Yep. I meant +1.
15? Okay. Let's see. And I can go. Okay, so I'll give you. I'll give you a +1 because you're at a 15. So that'll bring you up to 16, which will give you another +1, and then I'll use 3 points on myself to bring myself up to 14. So I'll have a temporary +1. So we each have, like, you have a +2 now, and I have a +1, but we're each having bonuses. Is the point?
Got it.
Okay. Yeah, and it'll be for 30 minutes. So I will keep track of that. So yeah, you're up at the top. The area is lit up. Of course, it doesn't light up in the hole, but you see the hole there. You see lots and lots of tracks. You also see, because it's like a globe of light, you see up into the tree, and you probably notice there is a very large nest in the tree.
Can I try with my trickery sending like a doppelganger mirror image something up, kind of wandering next to the hole? See if it draws anything out.
Sure. Yeah. Like you want it to be like a full, like, seem real, like walking, making sound, and
Yeah, I would say. Well, it doesn't have to make sound. I mean, I just want the spiders to see like somebody walking near their hole.
okay. Yeah, I mean, if you're not gonna have it make sound, then we'll say 9.
Okay.
Seems legit. A little harder than normal because you're making it look like a person.
Okay, yeah, 7 plus 3 at 10.
Okay, cool. Yeah, it walks up, I guess looks in the hole, and then I guess walks away or whatever you wanted to do. Nothing seems to
No.
react.
Odu looks towards Fazerwin and Nim and says, run up to the hole with me. If he's down there, I've got something to get him out, but you two watch my back.
Okay.
And Odu is going to move up to the hole and unsling his rope of climbing and drop it down there to where Boar is.
Had that. That actually works out perfectly.
Yeah,
yeah.
it did.
Sure, yeah, that drops down and it throws knots in it or whatever it does, so it makes it easy to climb up. It actually goes all the ways to the bottom, so it actually touches the water at the bottom or can touch the water and get down to the bottom. But of course you can climb right back up. If you see a rope drop down, and of course you can see them pretty clearly, Bori.
Yeah, he says, it seems like there's something down here, but let's come up, and he's going to climb up.
Okay, yeah, that should be no problem. You guys everybody that has that penalty has been using it, right?
Mm-hmm.
I should say that. Remember, you're -1 on everything because you guys are frozen, except for Talent Twin's character. You don't have to roll a climb the rope, of course. However, that being said, Faz, you see something out of the corner. You're watching to guard, and you see something that looks like possibly it could be one of the spiders. It's about it's outside the light, so you're a little bit blinded by the light because of the you're in a bright space, so your infravision really doesn't work. But it's kind of bright out in general at night, so you see maybe 100 yards out, kind of the opposite direction of the ruins, like out into the field. You see what you think might be some kind of very large spider. It's absolutely white. It almost looks like it's made out of white velvet. It looks like almost a crunchy white cover, and it just carries across the plane, but 100 yards away.
All right. Fezerwin will say, quickly, let us get back to the temple. The spiders are on their way here.
Yeah, let's go.
Well, I can't make them climb any faster.
Yeah, it takes them, I don't know, to climb 30 feet or whatever. It doesn't take that long, but it takes you maybe a minute or so. You're able to get up to the top. The rope of climbing obviously helps a lot. And yeah, you're back up at the top. Nice. And of course, you would know that, now that you've lived through it for a second and you saw them, and especially if Fez says what she saw, that the stories line up. They're kind of large, basically giant spiders, but they are absolutely white.
Yeah. He explains to them these are white spiders about 5 feet tall, and also he relays the information that he saw while he was down there in the well. That there's water down there. There was a bridge, some broken bridge, and it seems to link to the opening of the temple.
We say this as we're traveling back because I'm not going to stick around the well while we have this conversation.
Yeah, absolutely. And he also relays the information that he thinks that there are some sort of a creature or fish or alligator or something that's swimming in the water down there.
Awesome. Well, we'll have to slay a creature. So if we're going to go down into the temple now, Fazerwin will ask Odu, hey, could you cast sword upon my light like you've done in the past so that I can, lead the way?
Why is it so important that we delve into this in the darkness? Should we not wait till morning?
Have I not explained this already? In the mural, in the building with no roof, it shows the people go down in the dark, they pray at night, and then they leave during the day.
Well, do you think there were large spiders waiting for them back then too?
No, but that's what we have the strength and the light and the magic for. Are you an adventurer? Have you not done this before? I could have swore you were with me when we were all cursed.
Odu, let him go first. Let her go first. We'll stay back.
Odu's going to go to the building over there and start building a campsite for the night.
The one with the open roof or the other one?
The one that has the roof.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, so you go in there and you see basically what I described to Krista earlier. You can kind of brush them away. You see some kind of carcasses essentially from some various small animals. But as you're kind of looking at that stuff, you see something that's a little bit weird. It looks almost like it's maybe like 4 or 5 inches tall. It looks almost like a doll that's made of like very fine thread. And weirdly enough, it has like a big heavy cloak and what appears to be the like a staff in its hand.
Ugh. But he also will cast light on Fazerwin's sword if they want it.
Okay, you can do that. An 8 for that. A regular light spell.
Oh man, I missed by 1. That's a 7.
It wasn't meant to be.
Oh, that's doubles though. 2 2s. I wrote. Is there any doubles that count?
Yeah, any double you can. I mean, I have to remember how to do it. If you roll again and they are okay, any doubles will offer additional die toss. This extra die is optional. Okay, if the result of the extra die is lower than the original, you add that to the total. If it's greater, you subtract it. So
I'd have to get a 1 then.
Yeah, basically. And then I don't even know if that's enough. So basically, it's probably not worth it to do.
Yeah, I'm not going to try it now.
Yeah. Plus, I don't think it's terrible enough if it doesn't work. I need to work on that.
He's going to that doll deal that he sees. He is not going to touch it, but he's going to maybe like have a piece has like a piece of wood or something that looks almost like a wooden wand or something. He's going to like try to pick it up with that and call over Nim and them to look at it.
Okay, yeah. Definitely do that.
Where did you get that, Odu?
Well, I was sitting here in this place I was trying to see if we could camp for tonight.
He looks like you.
Does it?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, got the robes and the staff and a grumpy face.
Well, it seems though that this is some kind of darkness to me to it, not.
Ooh, I wonder if I made it move, if you'd start moving just like it. And she'll cast some sort of trickery to try to get the doll to like move its arms and legs and see if Odu imitates it.
Okay, yeah, that should be pretty easy. I mean, so like an 8.
Okay. 6 minus 1 plus 3, still 8.
Okay, so it works. All right, so yeah, you cast this spell.
Yeah, so she's trying to get like I'll mimic the doll. Is that correct?
I'm making the doll like do like a little march and see if it works. Like if you go with it.
Yeah, when Odu looks at the doll and sees it do that, he'll start marching just like it, then like alongside it, like they're in line together.
Nim does laugh a little and she goes, "Oh, this might be fun. What do you think, Odu? You want to dance?" And she makes the doll like do a little shuffle.
And then he goes, he'll start dancing. He goes, well, maybe you should find ones that look like Fazer and Bori and see what their dolls will do.
Okay, and she'll stop, so she's not going to make him do more dancing. But we do need to see if we have dolls, because this is very disturbing, actually. As funny as it was, Faz and Bori, to make him dance, I think this could be bad. So we should probably see if we have dolls as well.
Well, I was hoping that you would make him dance a little longer. I was going to play some music for him.
No, you're not allowed to play music ever again. Ever.
Well, anyway, Fazerwin, do you know where this thing came from and what is it?
I have no idea. However, I do have a lantern. One of you could take it, and then we could go down into the temple, where perhaps the magical healing is.
Should we take the doll with us?
Yes, do not let it get hurt, Odie. That would be my piece of advice for you.
Well, I'm not touching the doll. You've been pushing it around with my stick here, as you've noticed.
Okay.
If we look,
I will not let the doll get hurt then. And Fazerone will pick it up and put it in her backpack.
Oh. Okay.
Roll save versus death.
Oh, that's cool.
don't fall and squish him.
It's hard for you to breathe. It's dark.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you have the doll. You put it in your backpack. Nothing seems to happen in a negative way, anyways.
And she'll take out her lantern and light it up. And she'll say, "Which one of you are going to carry this for me?"
I'll carry your lantern.
Yes. I was going to the temple and be rid of this curse. Odin, you are free to come with us. Or you are free to stay cursed. Whichever you prefer.
I was hoping that I could carry the lantern on my belt, but oh well.
That would be silly. Why would you carry a lantern on your belt?
The thought just occurred to me. Let's go.
So as you start to walk out, you turn to walk out, Baz, and kind of out of nowhere, you jump back maybe because you're surprised. A doll that looks very much like you is dangling in the doorway.
Well, there's one of them.
Mm-hmm. Faz will snatch
With
it.
a very big sword.
She'll put it in her backpack.
Okay. You snatch it and put it in your backpack. You now have the doll for you.
All right. If this is Penar, just know that I am not entertained. And I have a big sword. I'm just saying, Penar.
Yeah, the doll had a big sword too.
Yeah. So Fuzzerland is going to start heading down those stairs to the temple, down those stairs to see if she can seek out this healing. I mean, we dance naked under the moon. Maybe that's basically what you got to do.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, you grab your stuff and start heading for the doorway. I think it's probably been half an hour by now with all that going on, so probably the darkness that was blocking the doorway is no longer so. But you kind of start walking up with your lantern, and you can see actually as you kind of break the doorway, you look down, you see this set of stairs going down. You see that all down the hallway, probably every third stair, there is a little doll sitting on the stairs. So there's probably maybe a 7 or 8 of them total.
Well, everyone will go ahead and collect one of each.
Yeah,
Do they look like they're like freshly made? I mean, or do they feel like they've been sitting there a long time? Or
yeah, they're very soft. You would think that they're fresh, yeah, and they look like you. For the most part. There's one that looks like Nim. Well, there's actually a total of 7, and I guess there's 8. There's 2 of each of you, basically.
These adventure dolls.
Bori says, "Hey, could I hold the one that looks like me?"
There's 2 of them. I'm taking a set. The whole set will be worth something, maybe.
Yeah, like Boroboris, for instance, the ears are super over exaggerated, and the sword is very big. Although your sword's already very big, so your sword's the normal size that it actually is, but it's over exaggerated because it's silly.
yeah, Odu's still not. He's not going to touch any of the dolls, but he'll go last in line. He wanted to, wait till it got light. He's not happy about going in the dark, but he'll stay in the back.
Okay, yeah, for sure. You head down.
Fazerwin, do you give Bori one of the dolls?
I mean, there's 2 of them, right? So you could grab one. But Fazerwin says she's going to collect the whole set. I mean, if you don't grab the second one, then yeah, she'll grab it and hand it to you.
No, I mean, Bori's going to say, all right, you carry them all.
Yeah. So she's going to collect just 1 set worth of them. So she'll have them all.
Could I cast the magic?
What's that?
Could I cast the magic? I'm going to, as Fazerwin's about to pick up the one that looks like Fazerwin, he's going to do a little ventriloquism. He's going to say, Fazerwin, it's okay to be cursed. You'll get over it.
Yeah, ventriloquism is probably super easy for you, so let's say like a 6 for that.
Okay.
It's all about
Yep,
build.
and I got 9, so.
Nice. Excellent. So Fazerwin's Bori's doll is talking to you, Fazerwin.
No, I mean,
gonna make
as Fazerwin is about to pick up the one that looks like Fazerwin.
Oh.
Yeah.
I've already collected the one that looks like me.
Well, I mean,
Okay.
this is all
The
happening.
second one does.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, no. And so you're not taking one off the stairs, it looks like you, is what you're saying.
No. I've
Oh, okay.
already got
Well,
the
yeah,
one
then that would have
looks like
happened a
me
while
and put
ago
down
then.
the
So you
screen.
could remove that. Okay. I misunderstood. I thought you were taking one of each off the stairs. Okay. All right. So, yeah, nobody else is taking any dolls?
I'll take one that looks like me, the other one.
Okay. For sure. You definitely can do that. And you
Yeah.
head down and I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, Bori's going to take the one that looks like him from the stairs, too.
Okay. So you come down, and basically this is what you're looking at. I mean, clearly you can't see inside this room, but whatever. I didn't feel like taking it. You can see the hole coming from the top where the tree was. You can see this exactly how I described it before. There's a set of stairs going down. This is where you are currently. There's basically a pathway that goes along the side of the water and then into a room, which of course you can't see yet. This all here is all water. And if it was, actually you have a lantern and whatever, you can kind of see the water's pretty clear, but of course, a lantern doesn't penetrate that far into it, but you can see that this is pretty clear water. And it looks like there was probably a bridge here at one point that has collapsed. And this of course is the visage that looks just like the one in the writing. I'm sorry, the relief, the high relief sculptures. Let me tell you, the statue of the lady. Okay, so 2 idols dominate the shrine. So she's basically a human woman. She's dressed in kind of basic robes. I mean, she's a statue, of course, she's not a stone. She has a look of sadness on her face, and she's holding up a bowl, which is empty.
Would I be able to determine that maybe this is Panar?
Well, you would know that from before this is Panar.
Mm.
The woman's not Panar. This the faces. The implacable face.
Okay.
Is Panar the implacable?
Panar does not actually heal. He only makes you okay with healing. But at some point, healing began to occur. Okay. All right. Fazerwin is going to she's going to go ahead and go back to the stairs and grab the doll from the stairs that looks like her.
Okay.
And then she's going to go up to that bowl. And she is going to pour, she has 2 flasks of oil. She's going to pour a flask of oil into the bowl. And then she's going to throw her doll into the oil and light it on fire.
Okay.
And she will say, as I dump this doll into this bowl, I cleanse myself of, or may you cleanse me of this curse. And she will light it on fire.
Awesome. Yeah. So you pour the oil in, you throw your thing, you make your big statement, you light it up, and whoosh, the fire burns, pretty rapidly. Of course, the doll made of basically silken threads just burns up like that. And the oil burns for a little bit. The heavy smoke is in the air, and after maybe like a minute, we'll say, it eventually dies out, and you start to hear just barely at the edge of your hearing, because now the time's passed, so you don't have your super hearing anymore. You start to hear you can't quite make out voices. They seem to be, maybe they're singing or possibly praying, or maybe they're laughing. It's really hard to say. But you don't feel any different if that's what you're getting at. You don't feel healed yet.
Bori Bori tells the others, I think I hear something. It's either chanting or singing. Do you guys hear it too?
Yeah,
I'll
everybody
hear
hears
it.
him.
Yeah.
Whether or not you
Yeah,
want
I
to tell
hear
him.
Can we tell
Well-
from which way it's coming?
No, not really. Not without, magic.
Yeah, Bori Bori taps his ears, and it's like, it seems like my magic has faded away. He's going to cast it again to hear better.
All right, go for it. That was just an 8, basically.
Okay, he's got 8.
8. Okay, perfect. Yeah. It actually now it's you still can't make it out because it seems very jarbled, but it's very loud, of course. And it's almost hard to concentrate because it seems like it's coming from everywhere. And at least for now, you're going to be an additional -2 on anything that you do because it's hard to concentrate. It's like you're just hearing like sounds from everywhere. It's kind of freaking you out maybe a little bit. Like I mean, not like mentally, but like your ears, you can't like they're getting like whoa, what? Yeah.
It's everywhere. It's everywhere. Ah.
Yeah.
I guess Nim would head towards that door.
Yeah, maybe we should go and check out this room and see what we find.
Okay. Yeah, definitely can go down there. So you you have the lantern, right? Somebody.
I think I
Bori
have
Bori,
it.
Nim has the lantern.
Oh, that's right. Bori
Yeah,
Bori put it on his belt.
No, that was a joke. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think I said I carry the
something
lantern.
burning.
Yeah, Nim has it.
Yeah. All right. Anyways, but you're all going anyways, right? Doesn't really matter. Yeah. So you walk along, this like stone path to this room. There's no door or anything. Just opens up. You kind of shine the lantern in here. Looks like this might have been a place where people might have gone to meditate or something. You would imagine because the walls are just they're kind of carved in kind of pleasing patterns that don't really seem to make any particular sense. Like they're not telling a story or anything. They're just kind of a pleasing bas relief kind of carved on all the walls. It looks like there was probably like some kind of maybe straw mats in here at some point. They have of course all gone to mold and just dirt now. The floor is just simple dirt. You do see more of what you had seen before, which was the kind of the animals, the various animals that are that are kind of like husks. There's some of these scattered around, and you see what looks like it was probably some kind of like a fountain. But it's looked like it was probably some kind of fountain bowl on the wall. It has since been smashed or broken. The shards are laying all over the ground. In the top part where maybe the water had originally come from seems to be like they've like cemented it to stop the flow. Oh, and there's a dragon. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, otherwise the room is empty.
Bori Bori picks up one of those husks and brings it over to Fazerwin and says, do you have any idea how these things ended up this way? Was it the spiders?
Most likely. Fazerwin is going to head back out to that statue, and she is going to say to the statue with the ball.
When you step out of the door, hold on. When you step out of the door, you see standing on that pathway basically in front of you, about 5.5 feet tall. So actually you're all elves except for the one who's maybe a little shorter. Basically what you've seen before, like a silken doll, but this one's like almost life size, and it's kind of like it's doing the strange dance that that you made Udu do. in front of you, and it's just kind of like it's moonwalking.
Is it of Udu?
No, this one seems more generic. It just seems like it's like a human. Doesn't seem to. You don't immediately recognize it being any of you.
Fazerwin is gonna like walk past it. She's going to ignore it for now.
Well, I mean, it's pretty narrow. So you could, you'd have to like walk along the edge of the water. You could do that if you want.
Instead, what she's gonna do is she'll just like pick it up and toss it over her shoulder, and then she's gonna walk over towards the statue. So she's gonna carry it, just like
Well, you're gonna grab
a child over her shoulder or something. Yep.
I mean, it's almost as big as you, but yeah, so it's like a scarecrow basically, like you can imagine that. But it's very light. Yeah, you grab it. It's like twitching, but you're able to pick it up. Yeah, and you walk. It's kind of like moving. As you're carrying it.
She's gonna set it down, like I guess in front of the stairs, basically, just putting it kind of down somewhere.
Okay.
And then she's going to walk up to the statue, and she is going to say, reveal to me your secrets. And she wants to use her knowledge spell to see if she can figure out who this statue belongs, to. Like, what is it? Who is the statue representing? Basically,
okay, so did anybody else walk out, or you're all sitting in that room?
I would have walked out probably.
Okay, so I mean, you of course saw her pick up the
doll
thing, but yeah. Did anybody else walk out?
Yeah, Bori. Yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna say Odu would be last year. Bring up the rear.
Okay. Yeah, Bori walked up to Fazerwin with that husk. So he was hoping that she could identify exactly how these animals could have turned this way, but she just said, she walked out. So Bori's like, hey, what's the deal? And he's following her with this animal husk.
It's because you're talking so softly. You're like, hey, can you tell me what the deal is with? Yeah, you're actually
precisely.
By the way, it's because your spell goes 30 minutes, so you're still a little bit out of it. So maybe you're thinking she didn't hear you. Who knows? Yeah, okay, that's fine. So you see this weird thing going on, and nobody really does anything about it, I guess. All right, yeah, you can.
Bori's gonna freak out actually, seeing that gigantic thing, and he's completely perplexed how calm Fazerwin is in seeing this strange creature or strange simulacrum of them. So he's gonna be like, "Hey, what's going on? How come nobody's freaking out? Am I the only one?"
And nobody cares, I guess.
I guess nobody hears him.
Yeah.
We're level,
Nim will say,
3. This is all boring now.
No, Nim will say, it doesn't appear to want to hurt us. It hasn't tried to hurt us yet.
I don't know, not yet, but I think it's going to turn on us or try to stab itself and get us killed.
So as you're having this conversation and, your friend gets to the statue, you're about to cast a spell, out of the darkness swing through the air these two white figures. One misses terribly. Ooh, the other one gets 20, which is a 20. Well, I'm sure that hits you. You. 27.
Yeah, I guess I don't have my sword out, so yeah.
Yeah, I would say not. Yeah, you are going to need to make a... well, actually, it doesn't matter. You're going to fall in the water because there's no way you're going to be able to just to stop yourself. You're so close to it. So you go into the water. What are you wearing for armor?
I have that magical chainmail.
Okay, chainmail. So it's heavy, but it's not super heavy. So you splash into the water. You guys see this, and then basically these two spiders that like swung like this across, they start scurrying up their webs into the ceiling. But of course you have infravision, so you can kind of see them moving around up there. The light of the lantern doesn't really travel up far enough to get where they are, and they seem to be crawling into like holes that are up in the ceiling. They're pretty fast. But we'll give an initiative roll, and if anybody has a missile weapon or wants to do something, and you beat them in initiative, then I'll let you do that. Let's see, who rolled it last time? Young, you rolled. You were by yourself. So Tony, initiative D6.
All right. A 4.
Oh, they got a 1. So if anybody wants to do anything, you've got. Let's see. First would be Well, first is melee, but nobody's close enough to do melee. So missile or magic?
Yeah,
Missile.
magic.
Okay.
Missile.
All right. I think missile goes before magic, if I'm not mistaken. I always forget because we were on 2 different systems. I'm just going to say it's the way because I always forget where to find it. Okay, let's do it the right way. I mean, if you don't have a missile weapon out in your hand, you're not going to be able to use it. I should say that because these things are moving quickly.
Even dagger?
Yeah, you could throw a dagger and throw it, I suppose. Missile goes first, then magic. All right, so missile, go ahead, throw your dagger, Oribori.
Oribori throws the dagger, and ooh, that's a miss. Yeah,
Okay.
7 minus 2.
Okay, yeah, definitely. 3 total, because you got a -1 from before. Nim, missile.
I'll throw a dagger.
Did
Okay.
you add your attack bonuses and all that, Jan? If you rolled a 7?
I rolled the 7. I'm level 3, so I guess I add, was it 2?
I don't have it.
Elves.
I mean, the dagger has an attack bonus, doesn't it?
Oh, it does.
Yeah, it does.
I mean, it's probably still not going to hit, but I was just curious what
Yeah.
you added.
I got
Yeah,
the dex modifier of +1, and I thought the -2 was the penalty that I'm under right now.
Yeah, but
Well,
the
you're-
dagger itself has a +3.
Well, actually, no, the dagger doesn't. When you're using missile weapons, you use the missile's range.
Oh, that's right.
Right.
That's
So
right.
it doesn't really matter what the. Let me find the system now so I can find it. So you are throwing it 20 feet for a dagger. That's medium range.
Mm-hmm.
So medium range from missile weapon. I mean, it's still going to be a bonus. It's +4.
Yeah,
So it should be your roll +4 plus your dex. You said you had +1.
Yeah, so it's
So
actually
you're
12.
+5 then. So 12, but then -3 because you have -1 because you're exhausted. That still is in effect because nobody's rested yet. And you have -2 for the ear thing going on.
Right.
So it would still a mess, but that's basically where you're at. Yeah.
Nice.
So essentially, yeah, when you're using a missile weapon, you're going to use the missile bonus, not the. So sometimes it's better, it's better than the dagger bonus actually. So throwing a dagger is actually more effective. Okay, so magic, Tony.
Oh,
Yeah,
I get
he's
to throw
going.
Dagger? I never
Oh, I
got to
thought you.
throw a dagger.
I'm sorry. Did I skip? We got so excited figuring out the bonus that I forgot. I totally skipped you. I'm sorry. So you got medium range, so you're +4, and then
Okay.
plus your dex, you're -1 only.
-1. No, it'd only be a 10.
Yeah, 10 does not hit. Okay, so magic.
Yeah, Odo is going to. Excuse me. When they both get up to their holes, whatever they're going into, he's going to concentrate on that one area, like where one of them went, and he's going to cause this swirl of light just to like spiral up like a tornado, and it's going to go up and go into that hole and just cover that whole hole with light, trying to blind it and keep it in its hole, where it's been affected by all this light.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, if you want to try to blind them, then you'll have to target one of them, I would say.
Yeah,
But
that's
if
what
you
I'm saying. I'm just going to the one hole. I'm picking out one of them to.
Okay, so one of the two. Okay, perfect. Yeah, so that's just, I mean, you're directing it, so I'm going to say it's a 9. It's a little more difficult than a regular spell.
Ooh, great. That will be a 13 total.
Oh, sweet. Okay. All right, he'll get a saving throw, of course. 10, and that's going to succeed. Let's see, save. Let's see. Let's see. Was a fighter, a 3rd level fighter, magic? No, yeah, one of them. I mean, you would know this, of course, but one of them is blinded, in fact. So they run and then they scurry into the holes. But maybe one pauses a bit, and you blasted the light, and you feel like you definitely got him.
Fazerwin is going to cast a spell as well.
You're in the water. You're not doing anything except drowning.
I thought I could. Never mind.
No, you went into the water. You were surprised. Yeah, you were surprised when you're in the water. So this round. You're basically in the water. And then we're essentially out of combat. You can try to swim out, but you're going to need to. I mean, you're in chainmail armor, so without any help, I'm going to say that you got like a 50-50 chance to be able to swim to the top, safely. So just, I guess, roll anything. And just,
Can I put my sword in the water, or I guess that she might cut her hand.
I was going to say,
grab this.
How close are
Right.
we? How close? We're not very close though. We're
Hey,
coming on
guys.
that sidewalk, right?
Guys, I rolled a d6 and I rolled a 6.
Well,
Okay.
never mind. I got that rope of climbing. I was trying to help you.
Yeah. So you're drowning then.
Drowning? You said I had
Yeah,
a 50% chance.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, when you roll a d6, low is always better than BX. No? What do you think? High was better?
I guess I thought like I was trying to get over 3.
Oh,
Like
okay.
that's
That's
usually
fine.
how we
That's
do
what
it when
you,
we.
that's fine. If that's what you thought, I trust you. Perfect. Yeah. So you go in, and you're close enough to the side where you just grab some rocks and you kind of pull yourself up, stick your head up out of the water. And by the time you do that, you see a big bright spot in the ceiling, but the 2 spiders are gone. And you notice that the water is actually pretty warm. It's not like super warm, but it's like end of bath warm, like not like first getting in the bath, but like you're getting ready to get out of the bath. If that makes sense. But yeah, you
What
can
is
pull
the-
yourself up.
What is the doll doing? Or the big doll?
The doll is just
Yes.
sitting there. Ever since you put it down, it's just kind of stopped. It's just sitting there.
I'm gonna go look at it.
Water's
Is it
warm.
made out of spider web? Is that what?
It's made of like silken threads. Could be some kind of a spider web. Sure.
Look at Bori Bori and I say, I think you might have been right to be freaked out about this.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man. It's the spider, man. And then he picks up the doll and then, observes how it wiggles around and puts it down and shivers. It's like, it's creepy.
Uh,
So you're gonna try to catch your spell now? The wet
well,
elf?
yeah, but first she's gonna like pull her sword and just like shoulder it and kind of like look out, make sure nothing's coming, and then she'll look at it and say, "Okay, now reveal to me your secrets," and try and cast knowledge.
Okay. Again, this is pretty obscure, so it's gonna be an 11.
All right. Oh man, total of 10, right under what I needed.
Yeah. You're not sure. You do know that it seems like it's. I mean, this might be as obvious, but that it's somehow connected to Panor, but you're not exactly sure of the connection. Maybe a lesser deity or something like that. It's hard to say.
This one is more tight-lipped. I do not know her secrets.
Well, Fazerwen, use your magic to figure out how to reverse the curse. That's why we're here after all.
I'm pretty sure we've tried that by now, and I got nothing.
Oh, brother.
Were there
All
things
right.
in the water when you fell in, Faz?
Well, the thing is that water felt warm. Felt like almost like getting into a bath.
You didn't drink any water, did you?
No. Fazerwin is going to reach into her backpack and pull out the doll of herself.
Mm-hmm.
And she is going to duck the doll into the water and say, cleansing waters take away my curse, and then she will let the doll go in, like let the doll go in the water.
Okay. Yeah. So you put the water in and you say, a few words. It starts to break up, into the water, as a web might. It starts to kind of float. And you're kind of looking, you're probably leaning forward to watch this happen, everybody. And so the lantern's shining a little bit into the water. And you can see that actually the water is, it's not super deep. It's deep though. It's like maybe 15 feet deep. And the bottom of the pool seems to be littered with what appear to be bones, like human bones. Oh yeah, perfect. And you notice something kind of glinting and golden near the visage. So kind of like in the water, but like down here. If you can see my mouse, I don't know if you can. All right, there we go.
You're not sharing the screen anymore.
Oh,
Yeah,
well, I
yeah.
definitely can't see. Well, then you definitely can't see it. Okay. Let's try that again. I totally did it so good too. All right, so here we go. Down here. Come on, so there you go. Like right there in the water.
Golden and glinting, huh?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So Bori Boy points at that and says, "Look, it must be one of those treasures or a talisman. Maybe it's gonna reverse our curse. Should we go get it?"
Well, we can see that Pfizer is not the swimmer that should go, and you're looking pretty weak yourself. I don't think you should go, and I'm definitely not a swimmer, so that will only leave them.
Yeah, I wish I
I
had a swim in those furs.
I have an idea. I think I can use magic maybe to do this.
Try it before I go swimming.
I mean, I'm already wet, so I might as well. Fezerwin is going to say something to the effect of legs give me the strength of my youth and more so. And she's going to then like hop into the water. And what she wants to do when she gets down to the bottom is basically grab that amulet and then jump out. And like she's basically trying to cast a spell to give herself like jump basically. So she'll like jump. When she grabs that amulet, she'll like jump out of the water. And then she's going to try to jump out up onto where the planar place is. Panar.
Okay.
So I'm basically
so,
casting jump, and I'm gonna go into the water, jump out, super jump out.
Yeah, that sounds pretty awesome. So a 9, we'll say. 9 seems legit.
Right. Oh, and I rolled a 9 plus 3 is 12.
Perfect. Yeah, you feel like you can get a good jump going.
Yeah. So she like goes down and she grabs that golden thing, whatever it is, and then she
so you
jumps.
get in the water.
Hopefully.
You get in the water and move towards this, and the water's actually pretty clear. And I guess I'm assuming that everybody's shining light down in there so you guys can see. You can see decently. And you actually, as you get close, you can actually see there's actually a skeleton here that's in fairly decent condition. And it has a circlet on its head. That's where you saw. But as you get close to it, kind of on the other side of it, laying kind of in the muck, is actually a sword as well.
Is there any way she could grab both with her hands, like one on the circuit and one on the sword?
Yeah, if you don't have anything in your hands.
Yeah. I mean, I imagine I put my sword up before I jumped in, so.
Yeah, one would think. That sword right there and sink you to the bottom for sure. So you're going to grab the circlet that's on the skull and rip it off and grab the sword and then jump out of the water.
That's my plan.
He's going to tear it right off the head and then jump up.
I mean, I'm going to take it from the head and jump. I'm not like with exceeding force I'm not trying to like pull the thing's skull off, but getting the circuit off its head.
Oh, okay. So you're going to go down and gently take it off.
Okay, Daniel, if you want me to pull the skull, I'm pulling the skull from the skull.
I'd like to know
I
how you're
don't
doing
know.
it.
I mean, I'm not sure. Like, I'm not going to take a lot of time down here. I'm just trying to like grab the stuff and then jump away.
Okay, fair enough. All right, yeah. So you do that. So you jump out of the water, with the sword in one hand and the circlet in the other, and you land on the little, half bridge in front of the implacable visage of Panar. And of course, the rest of the party sees you. They're all on the other side by the woman.
Bori has his mouth open. He's like, "Whoa!"
Yeah.
Epic.
What did you find, Faz?
Well, there was this was the glinting thing that was shining, and she shows the circuit. And this was laying next to the skeleton as well, and she shows the sword.
Nice.
Will that reverse our curse?
Yeah.
I don't know. She's gonna look towards the visage of the visage and the impeccable visage, and like, I mean, does she get anything off of it? Does it feel magical or anything?
It's not putting on any kind of extreme horror. The sword, by the way, is very decorative and silvered. Yeah, and it's kind of heavy.
Okay.
The circlet is golden, and it's a circlet, so it's exactly what a circlet is.
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing particularly. And actually, how about, do you guys want to take like a 5-minute break?
Sure.
No, because it's 9:30. I don't know.
Yeah, that's fine.
Is that okay? Yeah.
I need to stretch my legs.
Yeah, exactly.
sounds good.
Grab a drink. It's going a little bit longer than I thought, but I think it's going pretty well. But let's take 5 minutes because I don't think it's going to finish in the next 10, and I need a drink. So good, perfect. Thank you for reminding me. Okay, so yeah, while you were swimming down there, taking a little bath, Odu noticed there was a tunnel actually running off to the kind of to the side, an underwater tunnel at that. You're standing. You're being Professor Wynn. You're standing in front of the visage of Panar.
Faster one wants to look at this image real quick.
Yep.
In its mouth or eye or anything, does there seem like a slot or something that she maybe could put something like this sword?
Not really.
Okay.
I mean, you could certainly stick the sword in its mouth or its eye, but it's not actually like shaped like a sword.
Yeah. Is her jump still on? Can she jump back to the other panel?
You'll have to roll it again.
Fine, sure. I guess I'll roll it again to try. I have to jump back without getting in the water for now. Total of 9.
Okay, yeah, you jump back.
Okay, she wants to go to the statue, and real quick, the last thing she can think to try, she'll say, "This is the last thing I can think to try." She'll tell everyone, and she's going to put that golden crown on the statue's head and say, please, deity, remove our curse, from us.
Okay. Yeah. You set it on the statue's head and recite your prayers.
Odu looks towards Nim and Bori, and while Fazer's doing what she's doing, and points down at that deal and goes, well, she jumped up from the water too quick. Look down there. It looks like there's a tunnel, but we'd have to shed our gear and swim down there pretty fast to see if it leads up to another opening somewhere.
Oh, that seems to be the case, but let's see if I can try something. And then Bori is gonna step up to the edge, and he's gonna summon wind, and he'll try to do his best to displace the water with wind. I don't know if it's possible.
Wow. Yeah, that's epic. But that's going to be 13.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Come on, baby. Oh, wait. So that is 5 plus 3. That's 8 plus 3. That is 11.
Enough. Yeah, you're unable to do it. You start to whirlpool it out a bit, and you realize some bones are like flying around and stuff, but you realize that you just can't summon enough wind through here to push that much water out of the way.
Yeah, he says it's too much. Too much.
Well,
You maybe look back and you notice that strange giant doll is dancing again.
He's dancing again?
Yeah, it started dancing
does
when you did that one.
anyone want this sword? anyway?
I'll take it.
This Professor will hand it to you. She's feeling rather defeated at this point. She just leaves the crown up on top of the statue.
Bori's gonna. Okay, go ahead.
Go ahead. The sword is covered in like runes, and it's silvered.
Nice. And
Can Professor One use her knowledge to determine what those runes stand for?
Yeah. But Young was going to say something though.
Oh,
What were you gonna say? Okay.
Yeah, he's just gonna say, "This is a nice sword. Thank you, Fazerwin," and he's gonna take it. And while he's at it, he's gonna hop up and take that little circlet and put it on himself.
Nice. All right.
And
looks nice. Stylish.
Bori's gonna turn to the rest of the party and says, "Hey, how does it look?"
Dashing, very dashing.
Well, if you're gonna die of curse, go ahead. Yeah, he says, "Well, if you're gonna die of curse, might as well, you know." And he walks up to that little, thing, the doll, and says,
the one the size of a person by the stairs.
Yeah, the size of a person, and he's gonna say, "Well, can you say anything at all? You want us to do something?" And he's just gonna wait for its response.
Oh. That's a good question.
While he does this, Fazerwin will say, "Oh, wait 1 second," and she's gonna walk up and look at that sword, and she's gonna say, "Reveal to me your secrets," and she's gonna try and cast her knowledge on those runes.
Your character is super socially awkward. Like, I don't want this sword. Take it. And then they walk away and check something. Hold on.
I'm going to pull my sword and look
I mean,
up.
she's focused her best on trying to get rid of this curse. She's doing.
No, I know it's just a funny thing
power.
to do. Like, you literally just gonna run up now and check it once on him. I'm sure he doesn't care, but I mean that's up to him. Okay. You hear like kind of a scratching sound, and you look up, and behind the figure, behind the we'll call it the gray puppet because that's what they call it in the module, behind the gray puppet on the staircase, you see come out of the shadows, upside down of course, a white large spider, and it kind of is sitting there, now it's looking at you. And go ahead and roll. This is a pretty obscure sword, so it's going to be an 11 for you, Crystal.
Okay, I mean, at least I can try. Oh yes, 9 + 3 is 12.
Nice. Okay. This sword is. Oh man, I just closed the sword. It is the Blade of Solace. Generations ago, Panarian high priests carried these silvered ceremonial blades to dispatch those who despair, or whose despair or greed could not be lifted by other means. It's heavily and poorly balanced, but against those suffering burdens of misery, any wound from it is fatal. So don't get cut by it.
Everyone is gonna gasp, and she's gonna just like blurt it out. That's the sword of solace. It blah 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 blah. It has to be the key.
You mean if I cut myself on its blade just a tiny bit, I'm gonna die?
Cut the spider with it. What are you waiting for?
Wait, hold on. He's gonna say, "Well, Spider, you could have slain me when you knocked me into that well earlier, or you and your kind, I suppose. And then you could have ambushed us with the rest of your buddies not too long ago. What's the deal? What's happening over here? Do you even understand what I'm saying?"
It kind of, it looks at you. You can see that it's kind of trying to figure out what you're saying in a sense, like those animals kind of study you. And it kind of like lowers itself, so it's now its face not upside down anymore. And it starts to spin and starts to spin a little figure, and the figure looks like the woman with the bowl, and it kind of like puts it to the side, and then it starts spinning another one, and it spins it till it looks like the big face that you saw over there on the other side, and then it kind of like it looks like quizzically between the two.
Bori Bori's gonna go over to that statue of the woman, and you know how the statue is facing away from that visage. He's gonna try and see if he could turn that statue to face the visage.
Oh, that's a good idea. But however, it does not turn. It's basically it's grounded in the ground. It doesn't turn. That's a good idea though.
All right. Well, he's gonna come back to the spider and shrug. I wish somehow we could communicate with the spider, or I hope the spider could understand or know what we were trying to say to it.
I don't speak spider.
Can I cast
Maybe-
knowledge to attempt to speak spider?
Sure, of course you can. That should be a 9. The spider is pretty common language, I suppose.
All right, nice. Oh, I just made it. I rolled a 6 plus 3 is a 9.
Nice.
Yeah. So your your speech becomes that of a spider, and you're like,
So yeah, so suddenly Fazerwin out of nowhere just starts and and is asking this says to the spider, we are under a great curse. We seek healing, which may remove it. Is this statue, is this deity able to deliver us from our curse? And if so, what may we offer it that it may do so?
so the spider kind of looks at you for a second, and it says, in spider talk, I am Bucklet. We live here amongst the caves, and it makes us strong and protects us. We do not know why. We thought maybe you would know, since you look like this. And he kind of points towards the statue.
We are not sure ourselves. The cave under the water, do you know where it leads?
I know of no cave.
Okay.
No, we don't swim.
What is it saying? Could you ask him about these little dolls that they've been making for us?
Yeah, she'll take one out of her backpack and she'll say, these figurines, why do you leave them for us?
To try to understand you. They are offerings.
Well, we mean you no harm. We will not harm you or your people as long as you do not harm us.
Okay. I will tell Takesh and Stofa to stop knocking you into the water. That did not seem to work anyways. I told them.
What's in the water?
What is
Bones.
in the water? Is there anything in the water?
Bones.
All right. Okay. He says that he means us no harm. He only wants to try to understand us. That's what these figurines are for. And then I'm going to say, in Spider, by the way, these are very nice figurines. Thank you.
Well, thank you. I have been working on them for a while.
And then she'll say, she says, they said that they will not harm us. Knocking us into the water was some kind of jest, I believe.
Well,
I
I would like to offer them this. And Bori Bori takes out his whey bread. He compacts it into like a ball shape and then sticks a few straws, uh, 8 of them, as a matter of fact, and offers it to the spider.
Straws?
No, it's supposed to look like you. You see the body, the legs.
Oh, but you mean okay? I got it. I was reading what he meant by straws. Okay, like straws.
No.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay. It looks and it like walks forward and takes it.
Yep.
And it says in spider, "Thank you, for the gift."
Yes, and yeah, you're welcome. Thank you.
It at that it kind of clacks up back up the stairs into the darkness.
well, the spider said that this place. I think he believes that the statue, for some reason, makes them stronger, but they do not know why.
Well, I admire your ability to speak with spiders, Faz. That's pretty cool. But nothing we've tried here has worked. I don't know if the tunnel is the answer.
Seems like the only thing we have left.
I'm not a good swimmer, but I'm wearing a chainmail armor, so if I hold on to the rope, I could get down there and take a look and see what's beyond that dark tunnel.
I mean, I have leather armor, so if you want someone to scout, I'll do it. You don't have to sink yourself, Bori Bori.
Phew.
And we
Thank
certainly
God.
don't want Odu with his furs to go down there.
No, I will have to take all of them off. We will have to remove armor and all of that if we have to all go.
Fazerwin, while they're talking, is going to go to the edge of the water, and she's going to cup some of the water, and she's going to drink it.
Okay, excellent. Yeah, you actually, when you drink it, you start to hear the kind of the sound that you heard before that almost sounded like voices. And they almost seem to be singing a song. And you start to feel a little better, actually. You feel better than you felt in a long time. And the -1 from the exhaustion is removed.
Fazerwin's going to say, drink the water. And she's going to, like, if she has a cup or something, she'll, like, grab out of her backpack and fill it up and begin to drink it.
Okay.
Okay. I will drink the water.
I do it too.
All right. Yeah, you definitely can drink the water. It's good. It's warm. I mean, it's not like, so it's a little bit weird because drinking warm water is a little bit weird to some people like that, I suppose. But yeah, you actually, anybody who is, had any, like even your craziness with your ears, although that's happening because of your spell, but that's probably past by now anyways. Although being under the water probably would be good for you because but what ends up happening is you still hear it loudly, but the voices become like clearer, and now it's like beautiful music, so it's not like freaky anymore. And yeah, and any of your minuses are subtracted. So minus subtracted. So basically, you have no more penalties. Are you drinking it as well, Odu?
Yeah, he'll take a small drink of it.
Yeah. You also you start to feel a little stronger. Like you've been feeling very weak and worn out. Because of this curse, this wasting curse. But since you weren't, in any other way hindered, as soon as you start to drink the water, you can actually feel your body, your muscles tightening up a little bit, like not feeling so worn down, and you think that this may actually be the solution.
Yeah, Odu will look towards Boy and he'll go, well, the weather didn't drag me much down like it did you three, but drinking that little bit of water seems to give me some vigor again. I think I can. Let me hold on to this rope, and you take the other end and swim down to that tunnel, Boy, and see what you see. But come right back up.
Well, since Nim has volunteered and she's in better shape than I am, I would let her go.
Well, you help me hold the rope then.
All right, I'll do that.
All right. I will go.
Excellent. When you jump into the water, a very large fish swims like kind of like right up next to you, like it just like kind of sits like right next to you, almost like it wants you to, grab it.
It wants me to grab it?
Like dolphins do. I don't know how else to describe that.
Oh yeah, like grab onto the dorsal fin.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, all right. But she thinks to herself, why the hell not? The spiders were friendly. And she'll grab the dorsal fin.
And it eats you. No, I'm just kidding.
Right, yeah.
No. So yeah, the fish
Wouldn't surprise
starts
me.
to move, probably a lot faster than you can move, but not in like a scary way. And within like about 30, 40 seconds, it pops you out into a room that is dark, but you of course are an elf, so you can see with your infravision, and you're in kind of this roundish shaped room. There's like water all around the edge, which is where you are currently, and then there's like a platform. And sitting on the platform is, you can tell that it's like inlay with different stone and stuff, but you can't it's infravision, so you can't see color or whatever. Sitting in the center, there's this kind of like strange device, some kind of arcane device, you would imagine. And then in the center of this kind of circular outcropping, and then if you went past it, there's a doorway that goes into a room, but that goes out of your range, so you can see it. But of course, you can breathe in here, although it smells very, very mildewy and musty.
Ew.
Yeah.
Is she let go of the rope, or was it?
There was enough rope, although barely. She's like right at the edge of it. I mean, you could let go if you want, but you didn't have to let go, I should say.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't have probably let go.
Yeah, it's just about 50 feet tall, so you more or less are right at the edge of it.
Did the fish just kind of drop me off and swim away?
No, it's there. It's hanging out.
It's hanging out.
Bori is worried, and he casts magic. He says, "Let this rope carry my voice and back to my friend Nim."
Nice.
Yeah, I kind of look at it. Look at the
Yeah,
rope as I'm hearing
okay.
this.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. So yeah, that's probably like a 9. That seems pretty good. That's like kids do that with cups.
Okay. Yeah, didn't make it.
Oh no.
I rolled 4.
So not so easy, I guess. I guess the water makes it harder.
And
Yeah, you're not.
turns to Odor and says, "Nothing's happening. I don't think she can hear us."
But can I? Okay, since he had that idea, I can try something. Gave me an idea. Send just white sparkles back down the rope so they can kind of see like a little firework at the end, like, yay, I think I found it, with my trickery.
Is that trickery?
I don't know.
I'm going to say that that's not really a trick. That's more like
If you turn
So you
it
can
into
do
a
it?
big giant snake, it'll be a good trick.
that's true.
Yeah.
You could do it.
But then you guys would think I died or something.
No, you can do it, but because it's kind of like on the skirts of what I would call trickery, it's going to be hard. So we'll say it's 12.
All right, I'm still gonna try it.
Yeah, it's not impossible, but it's still,
And if
because the whole
that
point of
doesn't
this is
work,
you
I'll
go to
just-
stretch it.
You guys aren't gonna believe this. You're not gonna believe this.
What you
I
get?
rolled
Dulcet?
double ones.
Oh my!
Oh no!
Oh no!
Oh,
So it does turn into a giant snake.
Oh, yes.
It turns into a serpent.
Yeah. I mean, that would be a good thing, but I don't know if that's enough. Let's see. So what would that be? Is
I
there an
am-
illusion?
Flummoxed.
That is amazing.
Flabbergasted.
Here comes
This is
the
good.
dragon.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, he said it wasn't a good enough trick, so I guess now it will be.
Yeah, it was definitely tough. So I'm gonna let's see. I'm gonna put this under.
To be like, what would be a great prank if I were to collapse that cavern?
That way they'll know I'm safe.
I just can't, like I said, I just completely.
This becomes See, some of these don't fit. You know what? Someone's gonna make it random. Why not? It's a one shot. This is going to be the trickiest part of this. I might have to make up my own, but all right. So just roll a D8, I think, and then a D12. Let me just see. It's just some random shit's going to happen.
Sorry, guys. I mean, honestly, I did not expect
Oh, it's good.
that.
1, 2, 3. Yeah, no, there's 7 things, so just roll a D8 and we'll.
D8?
If it's an 8, we'll just roll again.
Yeah, roll again. Now I get a good roll, 3.
1, 2, 3. Okay, so it's going to be under spiritualism. Now roll D12.
12. 5.
This might actually be appropriate, anyways. Spiritualism, since you're in a thingy.
Didn't mean to kill everybody this time, but did anyway.
The sorcerer's spirit and body separate permanently.
Oof.
The spirit may never move more than 100 feet away from the body and can project messages telepathically to sentient creatures within the spirit's movement range. The body must be cared for and fed materially, as it is paralyzed beyond basic automatic functions. Oh boy. Oh no. It may be carried by a friend or a trainer. Oh no. Oh, that sucks. So your body is basically like in a coma. You're basically in a coma. It has to be fed and carried. So basically, since you're in the water, your body sinks, and your spirit is separate from it. So this could really suck because you're drowning. You can get back because you're a spirit. So you can literally just go right back if you want to where they are, but they're going to have to get your body within X number of rounds. I'll roll randomly. So we can do a countdown here. I'll say a D6 seems fair. Actually, I'll let you roll. Roll a D6. That's how many rounds you have to get the body.
6. Now, where were you when I needed you? Damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So you roll 6. So it'll take you a round to get back to the party as a spirit.
Okay.
So let's see how this plays out.
God. Oh. I so wish this wasn't PG right now.
Well, we're only recording. We could always.
No, it's fine. No, I'll swear when we're done. I will just start screaming.
All right, do what you gotta do. If your body dies, by the way, you know you're gonna die. So you got 6 rounds.
I'm kidding. Yeah, no, I'm kidding.
Yeah, go.
No, that's pretty awesome, actually. That's different. I've never died that way before.
Well, you don't have to die if they can get you. Go back.
I'm gonna go back. Yes, I'm gonna go back and and say, well, so this is a great trick, you guys. It's the best trick I've ever pulled. I somehow managed to separate my soul from my body, and now my body's sinking, and guys need to get it. I think I found where you need to go. Turns out the curse doesn't really matter to me anymore, but you guys still might want to get uncursed, right? So, could you please just get me out of the water so I don't drown? There's a very handy fish that might help you go over there.
This is like an incorporeal spirit that comes up to us. Wow.
Yep, she's a ghost.
I'm a ghost.
Boy, you're the fastest of us all. I'll hold the rope. You go recover the body.
I'm on it, and then he dives into the water.
Okay. All right.
Before he goes, can I increase his strength so that he'll be able to drag her body?
If you want to waste around doing it,
okay,
you're on 3 right now.
Never mind.
That was up to you.
Never mind.
No, Bori just jumped into the water.
Okay. I mean, you can basically get to the body pretty quickly, I would say, in a round, because you're scrambling at full speed, I suppose. You are wearing armor, of course. So once you get to the body, what do you want to do? You're about 20 feet under the water, and there's a body at the bottom.
He's going to mumble. He's going to try and cast magic. Could he do that?
You hear my spirit going, please don't try it. Please don't try it.
Yes, you can. It's going to be hard under the water, though. Come on.
Yeah, he's going to be he's going to try to, blast himself out of the water with the gust of wind that explodes from underneath.
With the body, I'm assuming.
With the body. He's going to grab the body, and then he's going to be like, all right, be the wind underneath my body. Propel us up to the top. Here we go.
All right. Well, there's no wind under the water. That's going to be pretty tricky. I'm going to say it's a 14. That's a hard push.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
He fails. I rolled 8 plus 3.
Oh no, so
yeah,
close.
So that's 11. Yep.
Yeah, it's just not enough. You drop back down. And actually, it's round 5, so you have one more round to do something.
Okay.
And otherwise, you're going to start drowning as well.
All right.
Last move.
Well, I mean, he can't like 20 feet. Well, I mean, he has to try and swim up. That's the only way.
You can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, you're wearing armor. I mean, you can kind of like climb / swim, climb, pull in the body. You can just make a strength check, but I would give it a -3 because you're dragging a body. Although bodies aren't hard to drag in the water.
Roll 1d20.
Yeah, roll a d20 and just you want to get add 3 to it and then be under your strength.
Okay. Ooh, I rolled 3. So yeah, he makes it.
Nice. Yeah, you realize sometimes brute force works better than magic, and you drag the body up, and you're also an elf, so you can see basically what I described. You're in this kind of round room. Her body is like it breathes, but it's like it spits the water out, and but then it's just kind of like.
Thanks, Bori.
Yeah, you don't die, so you're happy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he like slaps her back and then does chest compressions to pull the water out.
Yeah. It's like so yeah, she's after a few seconds around her, so she's back. You saved her.
He says, "Nim, say something. You're out of the water. Are you okay?"
I mean, I'm fine, but my body's. I don't think it's ever going to be the same.
What do you mean? Can't you just go right back into your body?
I think this is the famous trick you only do once.
Well, don't despair yet. We're in a temple to remove a curse, to find great healing. Perhaps this temple still holds some sort of magic to restore you.
Yeah, and you can actually see that your body is starting to be restored after being in the water for so long, swallowing all that water. Your body's looking really good now. Nicer than it has in a long time. Of course, you won't really be able to enjoy it.
Right. Oh, look at my skin. Oh, dang it.
We saw that fish that swam up to Nim a while ago, right?
Yeah, you do.
All right. So if I was the one who's going to say, well, here goes nothing. And she's going to hop into the water and hope that fish comes to her.
Well, the fish is still on the other side. You don't see it.
Bori tells Nim.
I hope this comes back.
Yeah, Bori tells Nim to guide the other fellas.
Oh, guide the other fellas?
Yeah,
it's not too far away to go right from my body, right? So I could still.
No, you can go 100 feet. Yeah, I mean, when you jump in, I guess the fish probably. Yeah, I'll say the fish comes get you. That's a good idea. So yeah, you guys can all use the fish if you want, or however you want to get through. I mean, if you just take your time, you can get through. If you want to actually enter into this space, and essentially, let me give you the map here, because you've entered into the. The last part here that I can show you is, if I can find the map. Map.
We get hungry, we could also eat the fish.
I mean, they seemed like they were nice.
Well, it's only the one fish. You only see one fish in here. Oh. It's big though.
It was nice.
Yeah, it's a giant fish. All right, so. Okay, so now you're basically in here. You've got the body of your friend kind of just laying there. You got that passageway. It's dark, so you're going to have to do something in here for your human friend.
Yeah, did Odin come?
Well, if he's coming, I don't know. Tony, did you want to come through or no?
Yeah, I was waiting for Crystal to finish. Yeah, Odu will pull out his sword and cast line on that sword.
Okay. Yeah, well, that sword automatically has the light, so you don't even have to roll
Oh
for it.
yeah, he'll just draw his sword out
Yeah.
then to have the line.
Yeah, you can just command it to light up. So yeah, the room is lit with light, and you can see. Okay, so let me describe the room to you. Circular platform is inlaid with colorful mosaic, chips of blue lapis, green jade, mother of pearl, black mica, turquoise, and red agate. All swirl together in a central disc of gold. At the center stands a filigreed contraption made of bronze, which I will describe in a second. Actually, that's the whole description, so I can describe that right now. Let's go to page 131 so I can tell you what that looks like. Let's see. Okay, heavy contraption of brass filaments that converge on a sturdy round base. Well, that's all. That's basically the way they describe it. Okay, so it is a sturdy contraption of brass filaments that converge on a base. It looks pretty. It's clearly of a magical nature. I mean, every one of you is a wizard of some sort, so you know that it's some kind of a magic contraption sitting there in the center of the room. Besides that, you also have a door that leads into another room, and you can smell that kind of mildew coming from that room. The room you're in smells kind of fresh because it's got the water in it.
Can I cast my knowledge to see what this object is, what this magic is?
Yep.
And reveal to me your secrets.
Yeah, this will be a 12.
No. Total of 7.
Okay, yeah, you have no idea.
Yeah, the secrets lay silent.
Yeah, it doesn't. It's been here a long time. It doesn't want to tell you its secrets. But that's all that's in this particular room. And then, like I said, there's a doorway.
Are there any panels or any buttons or anything on that
just an
magical
open
device?
Oh, no. It actually looks almost like some kind of a, like it has like things that can spin, like you can, crank them up. But there's no buttons or switches or anything. It's more like you just wind it. It's a bit like clockwork, I guess is the best way to say it.
Well, Bori looks at the others and says, maybe we should try and activate it?
Well, let's see what's in this other room before we go activating strange magical devices we know nothing about.
All right. Bori picks up Nim's limp body and slings it across his shoulder and carries her.
Thanks, Bori.
There's been a lot of body carrying in this particular episode for some reason. Yes, you guys step through the doorway, the light of Udo's magical sword light in the way. It's a pretty small room. It's about maybe like 20 by 30, so it's not huge. It is the meditation chamber. All right, so, okay, no, it's the middle of the night. Okay, so the mosaic floor, as I described before, continues into this room. There's a mildew smell, as I mentioned before. You see a bunch of furniture that's all kind of rotted and mildew, so it's very old, including a writing desk, chairs. There's some vestments that look like they're from some kind of religious, services you wear them, but of course they're moldy and rotted. There is actually a rack on the wall that's half knocked over, but it has a bunch of scroll tubes and also books on them, which again, the books look pretty moldy. There's some scraps of parchment tossed around the ground. And it's got, the room itself feels very cold all of a sudden. And as you step into the room, you hear a voice and it says, "You have lived your last moments." And then somehow through the wall steps a black imposing form that reeks of death. Let's roll initiative. What's everybody going to do here? You got a black figure coming through the wall, kind of incorporeal, like one of you. So
Is
Yeah, let's.
humanoid though? Like a humanoid?
Yeah,
figure?
it looks like a. He basically looks. Well, I guess you wouldn't have. He looks like a human. He actually is wearing. Even though he's a incorporeal being, I should probably mention this. He's wearing that circlet that also your character's wearing, young. And he has a sword that looks like that sword. And he steps through, but he's basically black. He's like a specter, basically. Oh. Was it? No, just regular fire. There's a hornets.
Yeah, I'll cast this. I'm gonna cast spell.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. What about the other two?
I'm casting a spell as well.
Okay. Spell. What about? I guess all you can do is cast. Well, I don't know. You can do something else if you want. You're incorporeal, so you can't really attack any physical way. Nikki.
Oh, I get to go? I thought I
Yeah, of
would
course.
just have to cheer. Oh,
No, you can cast spells and stuff, and you're still you. You just can't touch anything.
wait, maybe I can
You can. Well, actually, you might be able to attack him because you're also incorporeal, but you don't know that, so you'd have to try.
I wanna try. See if I can get my
Yep.
sword off my body and try.
Yeah, I
and
mean, you
attack.
basically have like incorporeal versions of everything you had, because like when you die, like
Oh.
whatever you have on is like your ghost outfit. So like whatever you had, you have. Like you have a ghost sword or whatever.
Oh, I totally get it. Yeah, I'm gonna try. I will try to melee him with my sword.
Okay, sounds
my
good.
ghost sword.
Okay. All right. So Crystal, roll initiative.
Okay.
6 for the party. Ooh, he got a 6.
I got a 5. Ah.
Oh, he's gonna go first. All right. He drifts forward. I'm just gonna roll a d4 and just go in the order that I have on the screen. Number 1, he's going after Nim. So he sees you. I guess he feels like you're in the same place as him, so he's coming after you. He's like, this town's not big enough for 2 ghosts. And he rolls an 18 plus his plusy plus.
18 will hit. I think that'll hit me even with
Yeah.
my sword out.
Okay, so yeah, we need to know because remember the damage is based on the difference. So 18 plus 7, so he's 25 total. This is the first combat we had.
That's right. That's right. I forgot.
We forgot how to do it.
So right now would be 19. So it'd be 27. You said
25.
25. So my IC is currently 19. So that's
Okay.
6.
Yeah. So you take 6 points of damage.
I'm still up.
Yeah. You also lose 1 level as the life force is drained from your life force.
304.
Your soul is drained from your soul. Who knows? That's weird, but that's what happens.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Spells. So I guess I'll let you. Oh, actually, no. You got hit, so you lose your spell. So you basically. Oh no! You were going to use your sword.
I was going to use my sword. Yeah.
That's true. So you get to go. Yeah, good thing you didn't try to cast spell. You're the best one to get hit.
18. Actually, plus 7, so that is a 21.
Nice. It grazes him. Like it hits him, and it like cuts a little bit of
Ghost
nastiness
stuff.
off, but like just barely. It's like you gave him like a little cut in his shirt. But hey, a little cut in his shirt is better than no cut at all, right?
Right.
Okay, so now we'll go into spells. I'm just going to go in the order I have, unless somebody specifically wants to go in a different order. Does anybody need to go first with their spell because it affects everybody else or no? Okay, I'm just going to go in the order I have here then. Udo.
Yeah, he sees this deal. He's going to, he's got his staff in one hand, and sword in the other. It's been lighting the way, but he takes his staff and he points towards this dark figure, and he says, "The bolt of light will take your soul." And I'm going to cast lightning bolt, but instead of lightning, and it's a light, a bolt of light will just shoot out and strike into this black form, and hopefully hit him and cause some damage. Is what I want to do.
Okay, yeah. So we'll call that like a 10 because it's not just casting light; it's going to try damaging light, like a laser,
Oh
basically.
man, perfect. 10 on the dot with my +3.
Excellent. Okay, so he's going to get a save for half damage. So your damage is your level in d6s, so 3d6.
So 3d6, okay.
Yeah, and he failed his save, so he'll take full damage. Ooh, that could be bad for him.
Oh man, this is horrible damage. I rolled 2 1s and a 4, so only 6.
Oh wow. Okay. Nope. So it doesn't kill him. All right, but it could have. All right. Next would be Bori Bori.
Bori Bori says, thunderous clang deafen him and tear out his eardrums. And he's going to
Nice.
try to use a sonic boom or something to
Okay.
try and do damage. And
Yeah, so we'll call that a 10.
Okay. There we go. Come on, baby. Ooh, nice. I rolled 9 and then +3, so that
Nice.
definitely does it.
Okay, so the damage is 3d6, and he'll take half damage if he makes his save, which he fails.
3d6, so that's let's see, 5 and 6, that's 11, 12 points of damage.
Nice. Wow, and then this blows him, and he like slams into the wall, and like you can see him breaking apart in little pieces. He's just barely there. Fast, take it home.
Fazerwin's going to pull her wand from its case, and she's going to say, Petrificus Totalis, and she's going to try to paralyze him.
Oh, okay. You can try that, I guess. Let me look up what the wand. Let me look it up. I don't know how it works. I'm guessing that he gets the same versus paralysis, or else he's paralyzed. That seems like the way basic stuff would work.
It wouldn't be a save versus magic item?
That's why I'm looking. It might be right. It might be a wand save. Wand protects a cone shape ray, blah, blah. Any creature struck must save versus wands, you're right. Or be paralyzed. Yeah. That's what I was checking. Oh, 13. Let's see. He is 4 hit dice. So actually the saves, I should just do it this way because the saves are actually in the book. I don't have to look it up that way. Where's my book? I think he probably failed, but I just want to make sure.
You probably hit what's her name too, because it's a 30-foot wide cone.
Yeah, I would say you're right.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oops.
It's just not your day today. You get to save versus magic wands.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, good. Might as well do it while I'm looking this one up. Sorry.
Yeah, I made it by 4, so.
Okay, yeah, so you don't get
17
paralyzed.
against 13.
Yeah, you're probably like, she does this all the time.
Phaser's just trying to zap your soul back into your body.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I was hoping that would work, but no.
Okay, I'm good.
No, you're basically a ghost. I mean, it would be cooler if you didn't have to maintain your body, I suppose.
Yeah, but it's still pretty cool.
Yeah. All right, let me just check this. I'm pretty sure you killed this thing. I just want to make sure. Well, paralyzed it at the very least. Let's see. It's saving throw versus wands. Oh no. Wands is 11.
Okay.
And it got a 13. Actually, it would have saved versus paralyzation as well. Oh yeah, no. It actually makes it. I'm glad I checked them. Unfortunately, your wand was ineffective against both of your targets. And it is now the next round. So what's everybody doing? Udu?
Never spell.
Okay.
I'm going to move away from it.
Okay. You're going to do a fighting retreat? Do you want to attack it too, or are you just going to move back?
I'll attack it and retreat, yeah.
Okay, you can do that. And then how about the other two?
Spell
and crystal.
I'm also going to do a spell.
Okay, perfect. So initiative, crystal. Ooh, we got a 5.
Let's see. I also got a 5.
Okay, simultaneous. So even if you kill him, he'll still get to do his deal. Go ahead, Nim.
Alrighty.
Melee goes first.
Try to move away, but take a last swing. 14, so plus 22.
22. All right, your mighty sword slices through this thing, and you can describe how you kill it after I see if he hits you, because he gets to go no matter what. So let's see, he might also take you out. He got a 13 plus 7, so 20.
So he does not take.
That doesn't
kill you, but
you lose. Well, you're sure, because you also lose another level. And remember that when you lose a level, you lose a hit die.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Hang on. Yeah, no, I'm down.
Yeah. So you can describe the massive double sword chop that destroys both spirits.
Oh boy. He's black. He's black, right? He's a black figure, dark figure, and I'm a light figure, silvery ghost. And our swords hit, and the different energies just cause a massive, just black and silver spark into the air, sort of like the firework I was trying to cast when I had to roll that double one. And I just, we both just kind of explode into glittering shards of matter and ghostly essence. And slime the entire, no, I'm just kidding. Slime the entire party with ectoplasm.
Killing the party. Everyone make a save. Yeah, so the two swords smash, and both, there's a quick bright, and then you guys look, and both the spirit of your friend and this wraith are gone.
And on Bori Bori's shoulder, Nim stops breathing.
Yeah.
Oh man.
As the end.
Like, no.
Well, now is the quest for the raised dead spell. So
how do you feel? I see that you have the same type of sword and circlet that Rafe did.
I feel just fine. I think it may have been the spirit of the owner of these circlet and the sword. But I feel fine.
You do feel fine, actually. So you guys have noticed, all this excitement, you weren't really thinking about it. And then maybe now you're just like catching your breath, and you realize that like during that combat and moving and all that excitement, you had moved faster and better than you moved in months. And you kind of looking at your hands and each other, and you can see that the curse is being lifted through the magics of the waters. So at that, we can do our closing here. So just so you know, if you want to incorporate, there's a bunch of magical spell scrolls in here, but that's about it. And then, of course, that item in the other room. But let's find out how this ends for Faz. Those are winning.
Oh, all right. So Faz, having had the curse lifted from her and everything, and hopefully the her compatriot as well. She just returns back to that inn once they're done here, and she sits in front of that fire with a chair, the fire crackling in front of her, and as the barmaid comes up and pours her a glass of wine, she says, this fire feels good on a pair of young bones.
Nice. And how does it end for Odu?
Odu goes back and spends some time with Bori and Faz, and they only have a proper burial for Nim, or make sure she gets to her family for proper burial. And then a word comes down to him that he needs to return back to the north, to the mountains where he's from. But evidently there's some type of darkness that is taking over that covers the majority of the day. And this darkness is taking over everything. So he goes back with his sword of light and his spells of light to fight the darkness the rest of his life.
Awesome. And how about Bori Bori?
Bori Bori helps burial of Nim. I guess he would probably, what's the word? Cremate her, and then set her out on a boat and set it on fire in like the traditional old school Viking burial type of thing. And then after that he goes adventuring alongside Odu and Fazerwen for a little while. But after they go their separate ways, Bori Bori is walking down the field one spring thinking, boy, it's awfully quiet and boring out here. So he decides to try that musical thing one more time, and instead brings the hottest scorching summer and burns, causes a gigantic, a forest fire. And he's so glad that no one was around when that started.
Nice. There you go, right? That's the next spell that you'll get. Cause massive storm. So thanks, guys. That was a fun little test of the magic system. Maybe we'll talk about it and figure out what we thought we might change. The adventure came from Trilemma Adventures. It was called In the Care of Bones. So thanks for playing, and we'll stop recording, and we are